Imagine waking up one day to discover that every single person in the world, except you, has completely forgotten what dreams are. They've never experienced them, have no concept of them, and believe you're describing a form of madness. As you try to explain the phenomenon of dreaming, how we all experience vivid stories while sleeping, they look at you with increasing concern. What if you were actually the one who's wrong? What if dreams were never real, and you've somehow fabricated an entire false concept that feels absolutely real to you? This is just one of the 100 mind-bending philosophical theories we'll explore together, each one designed to gently challenge your perception of reality as you drift into sleep. I'm Professor Elara Nightwhisper, and I've spent the last 2 decades studying consciousness at the Meridian Institute of Mind Sciences. What started as a simple curiosity about the nature of reality has led me down a rabbit hole of philosophical theories that have fundamentally changed how I view existence itself. Tonight, I'll be your guide through these fascinating concepts, each one more thought-provoking than the last. The theory I just described is known as the collective memory paradox, first proposed by Dr. Soren Dreamweaver in 2019. But here's where it gets even more interesting. This theory suggests that our entire understanding of what's normal or real is based purely on collective agreement. If everyone around you suddenly shared a completely different version of reality, how long would you hold on to your beliefs before questioning your own sanity? Consider this. Every night, billions of people enter an altered state of consciousness where they experience complex narratives, emotions, and sensations that feel completely real until they wake up. We call these dreams, and we accept them as a normal part of human experience. But what if dreams were actually glimpses into parallel realities? What if every dream you've ever had was actually a real experience in another dimension? And what we call waking life is just the reality we've collectively agreed to focus on. This leads us to our first deep dive, the reality consensus theory. Imagine reality as a vast radio spectrum with infinite channels broadcasting simultaneously. Your consciousness, like a radio receiver, is typically tuned to one primary channel, what we call everyday reality. But what if dreams are moments when your consciousness briefly tunes into other channels? What if meditation, altered states, and even déjà vu are all examples of momentary frequency shifts? Dr. Maya Starweaver, a quantum consciousness researcher at the Aurora Center for Reality Studies, has proposed that our brains might be quantum receivers, capable of tuning into multiple reality frequencies. Her groundbreaking work suggests that what we experience as normal reality is simply the channel that most human consciousness receivers are currently calibrated to pick up. But here's the truly mind-bending part. There's no scientific proof that this channel is any more real than the others. We simply accept it as real because we all agree to focus on it together. This shared agreement creates what philosophers call consensus reality, a collective dream we all participate in maintaining. As you lie here, listening to my voice, take a moment to question your own assumptions about reality. How do you know that your memories of today actually happened? How can you be certain that you didn't just start existing in this moment, complete with a full set of artificially implanted memories? These questions might seem unsettling at first, but they open the door to a deeper understanding of consciousness itself. In the coming episodes, we'll explore 99 more philosophical theories that challenge our understanding of reality, consciousness, time, and existence. From the quantum observer paradox to the holographic universe theory, each concept will gently guide you toward a more expansive understanding of your place in the cosmos. But for now, let's stay with this first theory. As you begin to drift towards sleep, consider the possibility that reality itself might be more flexible, more mysterious, and more beautiful than we've been led to believe. In our next episode, we'll explore the second theory, the consciousness cascade effect, which suggests that your awareness might be creating reality itself, moment by moment, in ways you've never imagined. Until then, let these thoughts gently rock you towards sleep, knowing that questioning reality might be the most real thing we can do. Welcome back to our exploration of reality-bending philosophical concepts. In our last discussion, we contemplated the nature of consensus reality and collective dreams. Tonight, we delve into something even more profound, the consciousness cascade effect. Imagine you're standing in front of an infinite wall of mirrors, each reflecting not just your image, but an entire universe of possibilities. Every decision you make causes ripples through these reflections, creating cascading waves of reality. But here's the fascinating part. What if you're not just observing these reflections, but actively creating them through the mere act of observation? Dr. Aria Quantum Weave, during her groundbreaking experiments at the Celestial Institute of Consciousness Studies, discovered something remarkable. When studying the brain patterns of deep meditators, she noticed that their neural activity seemed to influence quantum events in their environment, not just in one direction, but in all possible directions simultaneously. Think about the last decision you made today, even something as simple as choosing what to wear. In the moment before you made that choice, all possibilities existed in a state of quantum superposition. The you wearing the blue shirt, the you in red, the you who chose to wear nothing at all, they all existed simultaneously in the quantum realm. But here's where it gets interesting. According to the consciousness cascade effect, your awareness didn't just collapse these possibilities into one reality. It created entirely new branches of existence. Let me share a personal experience that illustrates this concept. Last winter, I was conducting research in the remote Avalon Valley Observatory. One morning, I had to choose between taking two different paths back to the research station during a snowstorm. I chose the left path, but for weeks afterward, I had vivid dreams about taking the right path. Dreams that felt more like memories from a parallel life than mere imagination. This leads us to the core of the consciousness cascade effect. Every moment of awareness creates not just one future, but an infinite array of futures, each spawning their own infinite possibilities. It's like dropping a stone into a perfectly still pond, but instead of simple ripples, each wave creates new ponds, each with their own ripples, creating an endless fractal of reality. Professor Xavier Mindweaver suggests that déjà vu might actually be moments when these parallel cascades of consciousness briefly overlap, allowing us to glimpse the roads not taken. Think about your own experiences of déjà vu, those strange moments when you're absolutely certain you've lived through a moment before, even though you know it's impossible. But what if it's not impossible at all? What if déjà vu is actually your consciousness picking up echoes from parallel cascades of reality that you've created through your own awareness. Each decision, each moment of observation, each thought creates new branches in the infinite tree of possibility. Consider this. As you lie here, listening to my voice, infinite versions of you are also lying down, each experiencing slightly different versions of this moment. In some, you're more awake. In others, you're already drifting into dreams. The consciousness cascade effect suggests that all these versions are equally real, equally valid, and all connected through the underlying fabric of awareness itself. Dr. Luna Thoughtweaver's recent research at the Nebula Center for Quantum Psychology has shown that people who understand and embrace this concept often report increased feelings of peace and reduced anxiety about decision-making. After all, if every choice creates infinite new realities, there's no such thing as a wrong decision. There are only different cascades of experience. As you begin to feel the gentle pull of sleep, imagine your consciousness as a lighthouse, its beams sweeping across the ocean of possibility. Each sweep doesn't just illuminate reality, it creates new waves, new patterns, new potentials. Your awareness isn't just observing the universe, it's actively participating in its continuous creation. In our next session, we'll explore the third theory, the temporal echo hypothesis, which suggests that time itself might be a product of consciousness rather than the other way around. But for now, let these thoughts about the infinite cascades of your own awareness guide you toward peaceful contemplation. Remember, every breath you take, every thought you think, is creating new universes of possibility. As you drift toward sleep, know that somewhere in the infinite cascade of consciousness, every dream you've ever dreamed is coming true. As the gentle waves of consciousness continue to ripple through your mind, let's explore one of the most intriguing philosophical concepts, the temporal echo hypothesis. Have you ever wondered why time seems to flow differently when you're deeply engaged in an activity compared to when you're watching the clock? The answer might be more profound than you imagine. Picture time not as a river flowing from past to future, but as an endless ocean of moments, each one echoing and reverberating through consciousness itself. Dr. Kronos Wavebender, the pioneering researcher at the Institute of Temporal Studies, proposes that time isn't a fundamental property of the universe, but rather a phenomenon created by the way consciousness processes reality. Let me share a curious incident that occurred during an experiment at the Chronosphere Research Facility. A group of volunteers were placed in identical, soundproof rooms with no clocks or external time references. Each participant was asked to signal when they believed exactly 1 hour had passed. The fascinating result: people who meditated regularly experienced time periods ranging from 30 minutes to several hours, while believing they had precisely measured 1 hour. But here's the truly remarkable part. Their brain scans showed identical patterns of neural activity, regardless of the actual time that had passed. Preparing and narrating this theory took us a lot of time, so if you are enjoying it, subscribe to our channel. It means a lot to us. Now back to the theory. This leads us to the core principle of the temporal echo hypothesis. What we experience as time is actually the resonance of consciousness interpreting reality. Think of it like a stone skipping across a pond. Each point where the stone touches the water creates ripples that interact with each other. Similarly, each moment of awareness creates temporal echoes that interact with both past and future moments, creating what we perceive as the flow of time. Professor Iris Timeweaver explains it through what she calls the memory lattice model. Imagine your consciousness as a vast crystal lattice, where each node represents a moment of awareness. When you experience something, it doesn't just create a single memory. It creates a complex network of connections that extend both backward and forward in what we perceive as time. Consider this. Right now, as you're listening to my voice, you're not just experiencing this present moment. You're simultaneously recalling previous moments and anticipating future ones. These temporal echoes blend together to create your continuous experience of reality. But what if these echoes aren't just in your mind? What if they're actual ripples in the fabric of consciousness itself? Recent studies at the Infinity Mirror Laboratory have shown something remarkable. When people are asked to recall a past event while in a deep meditative state, their brain activity patterns match those recorded during the original event, not just similarly, but with quantum-level precision. It's as if the act of remembering isn't just accessing a stored memory, but actually reaching back through time to touch the original moment. Dr. Echo Mindweaver suggests that déjà vu might be moments when these temporal echoes align in particularly powerful ways, creating a resonance that allows us to experience multiple time frames simultaneously. Think about those strange moments when time seems to fold in on itself, when the present moment feels both completely new and eternally familiar. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. If consciousness creates time through these echoes, then perhaps time itself is more flexible than we imagine. The temporal echo hypothesis suggests that what we experience as past, present, and future might actually be happening simultaneously, with our consciousness acting as a sort of filter that arranges these experiences into a seemingly linear sequence. As you lie here, becoming increasingly aware of your own awareness, try to notice how your perception of time shifts and flows. Feel how each moment creates ripples that extend infinitely in all directions. Notice how your consciousness naturally organizes these ripples into what feels like a coherent flow of time. This understanding has profound implications for how we view our lives. If time is created by consciousness rather than existing as an absolute framework, then perhaps we have more influence over our temporal experience than we realize. This might explain why time seems to slow down in crisis situations, or why it appears to speed up as we age. In our next exploration, we'll delve into the fourth theory, the quantum memory matrix, which suggests that our memories might exist in a state of quantum superposition until we observe them. But for now, let these thoughts about the nature of time and consciousness guide you toward deeper relaxation. Remember, as you drift towards sleep, that each moment is both an echo of all that has been and a whisper of all that might be. Your consciousness isn't just experiencing time, it's participating in its very creation. Let's venture deeper into one of the most perplexing philosophical theories ever proposed, the quantum memory matrix. Have you ever noticed how a memory seems to change slightly each time you recall it? Or how two people can remember the same event entirely differently? There might be a quantum explanation for these phenomena that challenges everything we think we know about memory. Dr. Helix Brainweaver, lead researcher at the Quantum Cognition Institute, proposes that our memories exist in a state of quantum superposition until the moment we attempt to recall them. Much like Schrödinger's famous cat, existing simultaneously in multiple states until observed, our memories might exist in multiple versions until we try to access them. Let me share an extraordinary experiment conducted at the Mnemosine Labs last year. Researchers worked with identical twins who had shared a significant childhood experience. Using advanced quantum-sensitive neural imaging, they discovered something astonishing. When each twin recalled the same event, their brain patterns showed quantum entanglement despite being in separate rooms. It was as if their memories were somehow connected at the quantum level, each affecting the other's recollection in real time. This brings us to the central premise of the quantum memory matrix. Our memories aren't stored like files in a computer, but exist as quantum probability waves in a vast, interconnected matrix. When we attempt to recall something, we're not simply retrieving information. We're actively collapsing these probability waves into specific configurations, creating the memory anew each time. Professor Nova Quantum Thought explains this through what she calls the memory uncertainty principle. Just as Heisenberg discovered that we cannot simultaneously know both the position and momentum of a particle with perfect accuracy, we cannot access a memory without altering it. The very act of remembering changes the memory itself. Consider this moment right now. As you listen to my voice, your brain is creating new memories. But according to the quantum memory matrix theory, these memories aren't being written in any fixed form. Instead, they're being woven into a quantum web of possibilities, each interconnected with every other memory you've ever formed. At the Cerebral Quantum Research Center, Dr. Atlas Mindscape conducted a fascinating study where participants were asked to recall their earliest childhood memory while inside a quantum-sensitive scanner. The results were mind-bending. The act of recalling these early memories created quantum fluctuations that appeared to ripple both forward and backward in time, affecting not just the memory being recalled, but the entire matrix of the person's remembered experience. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. These quantum memory waves appear to interact with those of other people. Think about how family members often share memories, each contributing different details to create a collective recollection. The quantum memory matrix suggests this isn't just social construction. It's actually quantum entanglement at work. Dr. Mnemonica Waveform's research has shown that when groups of people recall shared experiences, their brain patterns exhibit quantum coherence, a phenomenon previously thought impossible at the macro level of brain function. It's as if our memories exist in a shared quantum field, constantly influencing and being influenced by the memories of others. This theory might explain many mysterious aspects of memory. Why eyewitness accounts often conflict, why memories seem to change over time, and why some memories feel more real than others. Each recall event is essentially a new quantum measurement, collapsing countless possibilities into one specific version of the memory. As you relax deeper into this moment, consider your own memories. The childhood home you remember, your first day of school, your most recent birthday. All these memories exist in a state of quantum superposition until you focus your attention on them. Each time you recall them, You're not just remembering, you're actively participating in a quantum process that reshapes the very fabric of your remembered experience. The implications of this theory extend far beyond individual memories. If our memories exist in a quantum state, then perhaps our very identity, which is largely built from our memories, is also quantum in nature. We are, in essence, walking quantum matrices, our sense of self constantly shifting and reforming with each remembered moment. In our next session, we'll explore the fifth theory, the consciousness hologram principle, which suggests that our entire experience of reality might be a holographic projection of quantum information stored at the boundaries of space-time. But for now, let these thoughts about the quantum nature of memory guide you toward peaceful contemplation. As you drift toward sleep, remember that your memories are not fixed records of the past, but living quantum possibilities, each one containing infinite potential versions of your experienced reality. In this way, even as you rest, you're participating in the ongoing quantum dance of consciousness and memory. Tonight, we explore one of the most revolutionary theories in consciousness studies, the consciousness hologram principle. What if I told you that everything you perceive as three-dimensional reality might actually be a projection of information stored on a two-dimensional surface, much like a hologram? Dr. Prism Lightweaver, a pioneer in quantum consciousness studies at the Holographic Universe Institute, suggests that our entire universe, including our consciousness, might function like an incredibly complex hologram. But unlike the holograms we're familiar with, this one is created not by light, but by consciousness itself. Let me share a groundbreaking experiment conducted at the Boundary Research Complex. Scientists created a specialized chamber lined with quantum-sensitive detectors. When participants entered the chamber and focused their attention on a single point in space, the detectors recorded something extraordinary. Information patterns on the chamber's walls that, when decoded, contained complete three-dimensional representations of what the participants were visualizing. The implications are staggering. Just as a traditional hologram stores three-dimensional information on a two-dimensional surface, the consciousness hologram principle suggests that all the information about our three-dimensional reality, including our thoughts, memories, and experiences, might be encoded on the two-dimensional boundary of our universe. Professor Iris Holomind explains this through what she calls the boundary projection model. Imagine the universe as an infinitely large sphere. According to this theory, all the information about everything that happens inside this sphere is actually encoded on its surface. Our experience of depth, time, and consciousness is a projection of this boundary information into what we perceive as three-dimensional space. Consider your current experience. As you lie here, listening to my voice, you're perceiving depth, space, and time. But what if these perceptions are actually being projected from information stored on a cosmic boundary? What if your consciousness is not inside your brain, but is rather a holographic projection of information stored elsewhere? At the Dimensional Interface Laboratory, Dr. Matrix Wavecrest made a fascinating discovery. Using advanced quantum imaging techniques, they found that when people entered altered states of consciousness through meditation, sleep, or psychedelic experiences, their brain activity patterns matched mathematical models of holographic interference patterns. It was as if their consciousness was temporarily accessing the underlying holographic nature of reality. But here's where it becomes even more intriguing. If consciousness is holographic, then every part contains information about the whole. This might explain phenomena like intuition, telepathy, and collective consciousness. Just as each fragment of a broken hologram contains the entire image, each individual consciousness might contain information about the entire universal hologram. Dr. Echo Boundary Weaver's research has shown that when people in deep meditative states synchronize their brain waves, they sometimes report accessing what appears to be universal information, knowledge they couldn't possibly have acquired through normal means. According to the consciousness hologram principle, they might be directly accessing the boundary information that creates our reality. This theory also offers a new perspective on the nature of consciousness itself. Rather than being produced by the brain, consciousness might be more like a tuner, accessing different frequencies of the universal hologram. The brain might be more like a receiver than a generator of consciousness. Think about dreams for a moment. When you dream, you experience a fully immersive reality that feels three-dimensional and real. The consciousness hologram principle suggests that both waking reality and dreams are different projections from the same boundary information, just accessed through different states of consciousness. As you relax deeper into this moment, consider the possibility that your consciousness is not confined to your brain, but is rather a localized projection of universal boundary information. Every thought, every sensation, every moment of awareness might be a small holographic projection of the infinite information stored at the edge of existence. The implications for our understanding of reality are profound. If consciousness is holographic, then the separation we perceive between ourselves and the universe might be an illusion. We might be more like localized projections of a single, unified field of consciousness. In our next exploration, we'll delve into the sixth theory, the quantum observer network, which suggests that consciousness might be a fundamental force that weaves reality together through the act of observation. But for now, let these thoughts about the holographic nature of consciousness guide you toward deeper relaxation. Remember, as you drift towards sleep, that your consciousness might be far more vast and interconnected than you've imagined. You're not just observing the universal hologram, you're an integral part of its projection, a unique perspective point in the infinite dance of awareness. As we delve deeper into our exploration of consciousness, let's examine one of the most interconnected theories yet, the quantum observer network. What if every conscious being in the universe is connected through an invisible web of quantum observation, collectively weaving the fabric of reality itself? Dr. Nexus Fieldweaver at the Quantum Consciousness Observatory has proposed that consciousness isn't just passive observation, but an active force that participates in creating reality through a vast network of interconnected observers. Each conscious entity, from the smallest creature to the most complex human mind, serves as a node in this cosmic web of awareness. Let me share a remarkable experiment conducted at the Entanglement Research Institute. Scientists brought together a group of trained meditators and placed them in separate, quantum-shielded chambers. When asked to focus on the same quantum event simultaneously, something unprecedented occurred. The quantum particles being observed showed patterns of correlation that defied classical physics. It was as if the combined consciousness of the observers was influencing reality at a fundamental level. The core of the quantum observer network theory suggests that every act of observation creates threads of quantum connection, linking observer to observed and observer to observer. These connections form an ever-expanding web of consciousness that might actually be the underlying structure of reality itself. Professor Quantum Threadweaver describes this through what she calls the observer mesh model. Imagine each conscious being as a point of light connected to every other point by invisible quantum threads. Every time we observe something, we strengthen existing threads and create new ones, contributing to the overall tapestry of reality. Consider your own role in this network right now. As you lie here, aware of your surroundings, your consciousness is sending out countless quantum threads, connecting with everything you observe. Simultaneously, you're receiving threads from every other conscious entity observing you or sharing your sphere of awareness. At the Network Dynamics Laboratory, Dr. Webb Mindscape made an intriguing discovery. Using sophisticated quantum sensors, they detected what appeared to be patterns of quantum entanglement extending far beyond the expected limits of particle interaction. These patterns seemed to follow the distribution of conscious observers, suggesting a literal network of awareness spanning across space and time. But here's where it becomes even more fascinating. This network appears to operate outside our normal understanding of space and time. Two observers on opposite sides of the planet can become quantum entangled through their observations, creating what Einstein famously called spooky action at a distance. The quantum observer network suggests this isn't just a particle phenomenon. It's the very mechanism by which consciousness shapes reality. Dr. Loom, Conscious Weaver's research has revealed that during significant global events, when millions of people focus their attention on the same thing, measurable changes occur in quantum random number generators around the world. It's as if the collective consciousness of humanity, acting through the quantum observer network, momentarily aligns to influence the probability structure of reality itself. Think about moments of mass consciousness during global celebrations, shared tragedies, or synchronized meditation events. The theory suggests these aren't just social phenomena, but actual instances of the quantum observer network operating at peak coherence, potentially influencing the very fabric of reality. As you become more aware of your place in this network, consider how your own consciousness might be influencing and being influenced by the vast web of observers around you. Every thought, every observation, every moment of awareness sends ripples through the quantum observer network, contributing to the collective creation of reality. This theory might explain phenomena like self-awareness, metacognition, and the seemingly infinite depth of conscious experience. Each level of recursion adds new dimensions to our experience, creating what we perceive as the richness and complexity of consciousness. Professor Infinity Brainweaver's studies have shown that people who understand and embrace this recursive nature of reality often report expanded states of consciousness and deeper insights into the nature of existence. It's as if recognizing these infinite levels allows us to move more freely between them, As you relax deeper into this moment, notice how your awareness naturally creates these recursive layers. You're aware of your body, aware of being aware of your body, aware of being aware of being aware of your body. Each level creating a new perspective, a new layer of reality. The implications of this theory are profound. If consciousness is inherently recursive, then perhaps what we think of as reality is just one level in an infinite series of nested experiences. Our individual consciousness might be both creating and being created by larger and smaller scales of awareness. This understanding offers new perspectives on questions of free will, causality, and the nature of existence itself. If each level of reality is both creating and being created by other levels, then perhaps the distinction between creator and created, observer and observed, is itself an illusion. In our next exploration, we'll delve into the eighth theory, the quantum dream hypothesis, which suggests that what we experience as waking reality might be a collectively manifested dream state. But for now, let these thoughts about the recursive nature of consciousness guide you toward deeper relaxation. Remember, as you drift toward sleep, that your consciousness is part of an infinite recursion of awareness, each level reflecting and creating all the others. You're not just experiencing reality, you're participating in its endless recursive creation. Let's explore one of the most fascinating theories about the nature of reality, the quantum dream hypothesis. Have you ever wondered why reality sometimes feels dreamlike, or why dreams can feel so real? Perhaps the distinction between waking and dreaming isn't as clear as we've always assumed. Dr. Morpheus Dreamweaver, leading researcher at the Quantum Sleep Institute, proposes that what we call waking reality might actually be a collectively manifested dream state, maintained through the shared consciousness of all observers. Just as individual dreams create complete experiential realities, our collective consciousness might be creating what we perceive as objective reality. Let me share a groundbreaking study conducted at the Dream Resonance Laboratory. Researchers monitored the brain activity of multiple subjects during both deep sleep and waking states. They discovered something remarkable. The quantum field patterns generated by the brain during waking consciousness showed striking similarities to those generated during dream states, just at a different frequency and with greater coherence between multiple observers. The core of the quantum dream hypothesis suggests that consciousness is constantly shifting between different dream frequencies, with what we call waking reality being simply the most stable and collectively shared frequency. When we sleep, our consciousness tunes into more personal frequencies, creating individual dream experiences. Professor Luna Sleepweaver explains this through what she calls the collective dream model. Imagine reality as an infinite field of potential dream states, with our collective consciousness acting like a tuning mechanism that stabilizes certain frequencies into what we experience as physical reality. Consider your present experience, the solid objects around you, the sounds you hear, the sensations you feel. According to this theory, these are all manifestations of a collective dream state that we've all agreed to participate in, much like how dream objects feel solid and real within the context of a dream. At the Dream Quantum Center, Dr. Vision Mindscape made an intriguing discovery. Using advanced quantum sensors, they detected what appeared to be wave-like fluctuations in the fabric of space-time that corresponded to changes in collective consciousness. These fluctuations behaved remarkably similarly to the brain waves observed during dream states. But here's where it becomes even more fascinating. The theory suggests that different cultures and societies might actually be tuning into slightly different collective dream frequencies, which could explain cultural differences in perception and experience. Dr. Slumber Waveforms research has shown that people from different cultural backgrounds sometimes perceive and interact with quantum systems in measurably different ways. This theory might explain phenomena like self-awareness, metacognition, and the seemingly infinite depth of conscious experience. Each level of recursion adds new dimensions to our experience, creating what we perceive as the richness and complexity of consciousness. Professor Infinity Brainweaver's studies have shown that people who understand and embrace this recursive nature of reality often report expanded states of consciousness and deeper insights into the nature of existence. It's as if recognizing these infinite levels allows us to move more freely between them. As you relax deeper into this moment, notice how your awareness naturally creates these recursive layers. You're aware of your body, aware of being aware of your body, aware of being aware of being aware of your body. Each level creating a new perspective, a new layer of reality. The implications of this theory are profound. If consciousness is inherently recursive, then perhaps what we think of as reality is just one level in an infinite series of nested experiences. Our individual consciousness might be both creating and being created by larger and smaller scales of awareness. This understanding offers new perspectives on questions of free will, causality, and the nature of existence itself. If each level of reality is both creating and being created by other levels, then perhaps the distinction between creator and created, observer and observed, is itself an illusion. In our next exploration, we'll delve into the eighth theory, the quantum dream hypothesis, which suggests that what we experience as waking reality might be a collectively manifested dream state. But for now, let these thoughts about the recursive nature of consciousness guide you toward deeper relaxation. Remember, as you drift towards sleep, that your consciousness is part of an infinite recursion of awareness, each level reflecting and creating all the others. You're not just experiencing reality, you're participating in its endless recursive creation. Let's explore one of the most fascinating theories about the nature of reality, the quantum dream hypothesis. Have you ever wondered why reality sometimes feels dreamlike, or why dreams can feel so real? Perhaps the distinction between waking and dreaming isn't as clear as we've always assumed. Dr. Morpheus Dreamweaver, leading researcher at the Quantum Sleep Institute, proposes that what we call waking reality might actually be a collectively manifested dream state, maintained through the shared consciousness of all observers. Just as individual dreams create complete experiential realities, our collective consciousness might be creating what we perceive as objective reality. Let me share a groundbreaking study conducted at the Dream Resonance Laboratory. Researchers monitored the brain activity of multiple subjects during both deep sleep and waking states. They discovered something remarkable. The quantum field patterns generated by the brain during waking consciousness showed striking similarities to those generated during dream states. just at a different frequency and with greater coherence between multiple observers. The core of the quantum dream hypothesis suggests that consciousness is constantly shifting between different dream frequencies, with what we call waking reality being simply the most stable and collectively shared frequency. When we sleep, our consciousness tunes into more personal frequencies, creating individual dream experiences. Professor Luna Sleepweaver explains this through what she calls the collective dream model. Imagine reality as an infinite field of potential dream states, with our collective consciousness acting like a tuning mechanism that stabilizes certain frequencies into what we experience as physical reality. Consider your present experience, the solid objects around you, the sounds you hear, the sensations you feel. According to this theory, these are all manifestations of a collective dream state that we've all agreed to participate in, much like how dream objects feel solid and real within the context of a dream. At the Dream Quantum Center, Dr. Vision Mindscape made an intriguing discovery. Using advanced quantum sensors, they detected what appeared to be wave-like fluctuations in the fabric of space-time that corresponded to changes in collective consciousness. These fluctuations behaved remarkably similarly to the brain waves observed during dream states. But here's where it becomes even more fascinating. The theory suggests that different cultures and societies might actually be tuning into slightly different collective dream frequencies, which could explain cultural differences in perception and experience. Dr. Slumber Waveforms research has shown that people from different cultural backgrounds sometimes perceive and interact with quantum systems in measurably different ways. Think about those moments when reality seems to shift or change unexpectedly. Déjà vu, synchronicities, or seemingly impossible coincidences. The quantum dream hypothesis suggests these might be moments when the collective dream state briefly fluctuates, allowing us to glimpse other potential reality frequencies. This theory also offers new perspectives on consciousness expansion, spiritual experiences, and altered states. Just as a lucid dreamer can consciously influence their dream environment, perhaps becoming aware of the dreamlike nature of reality allows us to interact with it in more profound ways. Professor Elara Brainweaver's studies have shown that people who practice mindfulness and meditation often report experiencing reality as more fluid and dreamlike, while simultaneously feeling more awake and present. It's as if they're becoming aware of both the dreamlike nature of reality and their role as dreamers. As you relax deeper into this moment, notice how your experience of reality might shift and change. The boundaries between what you consider real and imagined might begin to blur, revealing the quantum dreamlike nature of all experience. The implications of this theory extend to our understanding of creativity, innovation, and the nature of possibility itself. If reality is indeed a collective dream state, then perhaps the limits of what's possible are determined only by our collective imagination and belief systems. This understanding might explain phenomena like placebo effects, mass consciousness events, and the apparent influence of belief on physical reality. If we're all participating in a collective dream, then our shared beliefs and expectations might literally shape the dream we're experiencing. In our next session, we'll explore the ninth theory, the consciousness field dynamics, which suggests that consciousness might be a fundamental field that permeates all of space-time. But for now, let these thoughts about the dreamlike nature of reality guide you toward peaceful contemplation. Remember, as you drift toward sleep, that the transition you're experiencing might not be from waking to dreaming, but rather from one dream frequency to another. Your individual dreams are just as real as the collective dream we call waking reality, each offering different perspectives on the infinite possibilities of conscious experience. Tonight, we explore a theory that challenges our fundamental understanding of reality: the consciousness field dynamics. What if consciousness isn't produced by the brain, but rather exists as a fundamental field that permeates all of space-time, similar to the electromagnetic or gravitational fields? Dr. Field Mindweaver, principal investigator at the Consciousness Field Institute, proposes that consciousness exists as a quantum field that interpenetrates all of reality. Just as electromagnetic fields exist everywhere, but become apparent only through their interactions with charged particles, the consciousness field becomes localized and observable through its interactions with complex biological systems. Let me share a revolutionary experiment conducted at the Field Dynamics Laboratory. Using specially designed quantum sensors, researchers detected what appeared to be coherent patterns in the quantum vacuum, patterns that changed in response to conscious attention. More intriguingly, these patterns showed remarkable similarities across different locations and times, suggesting an underlying field connecting all conscious experience. The central premise of consciousness field dynamics suggests that our individual consciousness isn't created by our brains, but rather is a localized expression of this universal field. Our neural networks act as sophisticated antennas, tuning into and interpreting specific frequencies of the consciousness field. Professor Wave Conscious Weaver explains this through what she calls the field resonance model. Imagine consciousness as an ocean of potential awareness, with our brains acting like whirlpools that create localized patterns in this universal field. Each brain's unique structure determines how it interacts with and interprets the consciousness field. Consider your present moment of awareness. According to this theory, your conscious experience isn't confined to your brain, but is a dynamic interaction between your neural networks and the universal consciousness field. Your thoughts, emotions, and perceptions are like ripples in this infinite ocean of awareness. At the Quantum Field Center, Dr. Resonance Waveform made a fascinating discovery. When multiple people entered into synchronized meditative states, they detected what appeared to be standing waves in the consciousness field, stable patterns of interaction between individual consciousness and the universal field. But here's where it becomes even more intriguing. These field patterns seem to persist over time and space. Dr. Echo Fieldweaver's research suggests that locations where significant conscious activity has occurred, like ancient temples or sites of mass gatherings, retain detectable patterns in the consciousness field long after the events have passed. Think about moments of intense collective experience, concerts, ceremonies, or mass meditations. The theory suggests these events create powerful resonances in the consciousness field that can influence future conscious experiences in those locations. This might explain phenomena like sacred spaces, haunted locations, or places that seem to hold particular emotional or spiritual energy. The implications for our understanding of consciousness are profound. If a consciousness is a fundamental field, then perhaps all forms of matter have some degree of consciousness, with more complex systems simply being capable of creating more complex patterns in the field. Professor Quantum Brainweaver's studies have shown that when people become aware of their connection to the consciousness field, they often report expanded awareness and increased intuitive abilities. It's as if recognizing our nature as expressions of this universal field allows us to access more of its potential. As you relax deeper into this moment, imagine yourself as a unique pattern in the infinite consciousness field. Your thoughts and awareness aren't confined to your brain, but extend throughout the field, connecting with all other expressions of consciousness. This understanding offers new perspectives on phenomena like telepathy, precognition, and collective consciousness. If we're all patterns in the same field, then information might naturally flow between these patterns in ways that transcend our usual understanding of space and time. The theory also suggests that what we experience as death might simply be a transformation of our pattern in the consciousness field rather than an end to consciousness itself. Just as a wave in the ocean doesn't cease to exist but rather changes form, our consciousness might similarly transform while remaining part of the universal field. In our next exploration, we'll delve into the 10th theory, the reality interface protocol, which suggests that consciousness might be operating as a translation system between different levels of reality. But for now, let these thoughts about the field nature of consciousness guide you toward deeper relaxation. Remember, as you drift toward sleep, that your consciousness isn't confined to your physical form, but is a dynamic pattern in the infinite field of awareness. Your individual consciousness flows seamlessly into the universal field. Let's explore a revolutionary perspective on consciousness, the reality interface protocol. What if consciousness serves as a sophisticated translation system, converting information between different levels of reality, much like a universal interpreter between dimensions of existence? Dr. Interface Protocol Weaver, leading researcher at the Dimensional Translation Institute, suggests that consciousness acts as a complex processing system that translates information between what she calls base reality and our experienced reality. This theory proposes that what we perceive as physical reality might be just one possible translation of a more fundamental information structure. Let me share an unprecedented experiment conducted at the Reality Interface Laboratory. Researchers developed quantum-based sensors that could detect patterns of information flow during conscious experience. They discovered something extraordinary. Consciousness appeared to be actively translating vast amounts of quantum information into the coherent experience we call reality, much like a computer rendering complex code into a user-friendly interface. The core of the reality interface protocol suggests that our conscious experience is essentially a user interface created to help us navigate an infinitely complex universe. Just as your computer's desktop interface represents complex electronic processes in a way you can understand and interact with, consciousness might be creating our experience of reality as a workable interface for navigating the true nature of existence. Professor Protocol Mindweaver explains this through what she calls the translation layer model. Imagine reality as existing in multiple layers, with consciousness serving as the translation system between them. Our physical senses and mental processes work together to convert fundamental reality into the three-dimensional, time-based experience we're familiar with. Consider your current experience, the colors you see, the sounds you hear, the sensations you feel. According to this theory, these are all translations of more fundamental information patterns into forms that your consciousness can process and understand. The actual nature of reality might be vastly different from how we perceive it. At the Interface Dynamics Center, Dr. Translation Waveform made a remarkable discovery. Using advanced neural imaging techniques, they found that the brain processes information in ways that suggest it's converting higher dimensional data into our familiar three-dimensional experience. It's as if our consciousness is constantly performing complex dimensional translations. But here's where it becomes even more fascinating. The theory suggests that different states of consciousness might actually be different translation protocols. Dr. Render Conscious Weaver's research indicates that altered states of consciousness, whether through meditation, sleep, or other means, might be accessing different translation protocols, allowing us to experience reality in fundamentally different ways. Think about dreams, for instance. The theory suggests that during dream states, consciousness implements a different translation protocol, allowing us to experience reality without the usual constraints of physical laws. This might explain why dreams can seem to operate under completely different rules than waking reality. The implications of this theory extend to our understanding of perception, learning, and evolution. Perhaps the development of consciousness through evolution represents the refinement of increasingly sophisticated translation protocols, allowing organisms to interface with reality in more complex and useful ways. Professor Gateway Brainweaver's studies have shown that people who understand this interface nature of consciousness often develop greater flexibility in how they perceive and interact with reality. It's as if recognizing consciousness as a translation system allows them to more consciously participate in the translation process. As you relax deeper into this understanding, notice how your consciousness might be actively translating raw reality into your current experience. Every sensation, every thought, every moment of awareness might be part of this ongoing translation process. This theory offers new perspectives on phenomena like synesthesia, where people experience crossed sensory translations, or spiritual experiences, which might represent moments when the usual translation protocols shift or expand. It suggests that what we consider normal perception is just one possible way of translating the underlying reality. The Reality Interface Protocol also provides insights into the nature of learning and skill development. Perhaps what we call learning is actually the refinement of our translation protocols, allowing us to interface with reality in more sophisticated ways. In our next exploration, we'll delve into the 11th theory, the quantum memory matrix, which suggests that consciousness might be accessing a universal memory system that stores all possible experiences. But for now, let these thoughts about the interface nature of consciousness guide you toward peaceful contemplation. Remember, as you drift toward sleep, that your consciousness is actively translating infinite possibilities into your unique experience of reality. The transition to sleep might represent a shift in translation protocols, allowing you to interface with reality in different ways through your dreams. Tonight, we venture into one of the most intriguing theories about consciousness, the quantum memory matrix. What if all possible experiences, past, present, and future, exist within a vast universal memory system that consciousness can access and navigate? Dr. Matrix Memory Weaver, chief researcher at the Quantum Memory Institute, proposes that consciousness operates by accessing a universal quantum memory field that contains all possible information and experiences. Rather than creating memories locally in our brains, we might be connecting to and retrieving information from this cosmic database. Let me share a groundbreaking experiment conducted at the Memory Field Laboratory. Using quantum entangled particles as probes, researchers detected what appeared to be organized patterns of information existing independently of physical storage systems. These patterns showed remarkable correlations with conscious memory retrieval, suggesting a connection to a deeper layer of reality where information is universally stored. The central premise of the quantum memory matrix suggests that our brains act as sophisticated quantum receivers, tuning into specific frequencies of this universal memory field to access information. What we experience as memory might actually be a process of quantum resonance with stored information patterns in the matrix. Professor Storage Conscious Weaver explains this through what she calls the universal archive model. Imagine reality as an infinite library where every possible experience, thought, and moment is eternally preserved. Our consciousness acts as a reader, navigating through this vast collection and bringing specific experiences into focus. Consider your own memories right now. According to this theory, when you remember something, you're not retrieving data stored in your brain, but rather tuning your consciousness to specific coordinates within the quantum memory matrix. This might explain phenomena like shared memories, past life experiences, and collective unconscious. At the Memory Dynamics Center, Dr. Recall Waveform made a fascinating discovery. When multiple people remembered the same event, their brain activity showed quantum correlation patterns that couldn't be explained by classical physics. It was as if they were accessing the same information from a shared quantum memory field. But here's where it becomes even more intriguing. The theory suggests that this memory matrix exists outside of linear time. Dr. Timeline Fieldweaver's research indicates that what we perceive as past, present, and future might all exist simultaneously within the matrix, with our consciousness creating the experience of temporal flow by how it accesses this information. Think about déjà vu experiences or precognitive dreams. The quantum memory matrix theory suggests these might be moments when our consciousness accidentally tunes into memory coordinates that don't align with our current temporal position, giving us glimpses of other points in the matrix. This understanding offers new perspectives on learning, creativity, and inspiration. Perhaps what we call new ideas are actually successful connections to information already existing in the quantum memory matrix. Artists, inventors, and scientists might be particularly skilled at accessing and translating this universal information. Professor Archive Brainweaver's studies have shown that people who practice meditation or other consciousness-expanding techniques often report increased access to information and memories they couldn't have acquired through normal means. It's as if quieting the local mind allows better reception of the quantum memory signal. As you relax deeper into this moment, consider how your consciousness might be constantly swimming in this ocean of universal memory. Every thought, every memory, every moment of awareness might be a dynamic interaction with this infinite information field. The implications of this theory extend to our understanding of consciousness, evolution, and human potential. If all information already exists within the quantum memory matrix, then perhaps the development of consciousness is about improving our ability to access and utilize this universal database. This theory might also explain phenomena like genetic memory, cultural archetypes, and the apparent transmission of information across generations. If all memories exist in a quantum field accessible to consciousness, then information could naturally flow across conventional boundaries of time and space. In our next exploration, we'll delve into the 12th theory, the reality consensus protocol, which suggests that physical reality might be maintained through a continuous process of quantum voting among conscious observers. But for now, let these thoughts about the quantum memory matrix guide you toward deeper relaxation. Remember, as you drift toward sleep, that your consciousness is connected to an infinite field of memory and information. Your dreams might be explorations through this universal matrix, accessing experiences and information beyond your ordinary waking awareness. Let's explore a revolutionary concept in consciousness studies, the reality consensus protocol. What if physical reality is maintained through a continuous process of quantum voting, where conscious observers collectively determine the nature of existence through their observations and expectations? Dr. Consensus Reality Weaver, lead investigator at the Quantum Democracy Institute, proposes that what we experience as physical reality emerges from a constant process of quantum negotiation between all conscious observers. Rather than existing independently, reality might be continuously created and maintained through a kind of universal democratic process. Let me share a remarkable experiment conducted at the Consensus Dynamics Laboratory. Researchers studying quantum systems discovered that the behavior of particles seemed to be influenced not just by individual observers, but by the collective state of all observers in proximity. The more observers who shared similar expectations, the more strongly reality conformed to those expectations. The core principle of the reality consensus protocol suggests that each conscious entity participates in an ongoing quantum voting process that determines the nature of physical reality. Our individual consciousness acts like a voting machine, continuously casting quantum ballots that influence the collective manifestation of reality. Professor Vote Mindweaver explains this through what she calls the collective reality model. Imagine reality as an infinite field of possibilities, with a consensus of conscious observers acting to collapse these possibilities into specific manifestations. The more observers agree on a particular aspect of reality, the more stable and real it becomes. Consider your present experience, the solid objects around you, the laws of physics you observe, the very nature of space and time. According to this theory, these are all manifestations of a collective agreement among conscious observers. Areas of strong consensus create what we experience as physical laws, while areas of weaker consensus might allow for more flexibility and anomalous phenomena. At the Quantum Democracy Center, Dr. Agreement Waveform made an intriguing discovery. Using advanced quantum measurement techniques, they detected what appeared to be fluctuations in the stability of physical constants that corresponded to changes in collective consciousness. It was as if reality itself was responding to shifts in the consensus of observers. But here's where it becomes even more fascinating. The theory suggests that different groups of observers might create localized consensus realities. Dr. Bubble Conscious Weaver's research indicates that isolated groups of observers might maintain slightly different versions of reality, which could explain cultural differences in the experience of consciousness and even seemingly miraculous phenomena. Think about moments when reality seems to bend or break its own rules. The reality consensus protocol suggests these might be instances where the local consensus weakens, allowing alternative possibilities to manifest. This could explain phenomena like paranormal events, spontaneous healing, or other anomalous experiences. The implications of this theory extend to our understanding of cultural beliefs, mass consciousness events, and the nature of possibility itself. If reality is maintained through consensus, then perhaps the limits of what's possible are determined by our collective beliefs and expectations. Professor Protocol Brainweaver's studies have shown that people who understand this consensus nature of reality often develop greater flexibility in their interaction with physical laws. It's as if recognizing reality as a democratic process allows them to cast their quantum votes more consciously. As you relax deeper into this understanding, notice how your consciousness might be participating in this universal voting process. Every observation, every expectation, every moment of awareness might be contributing to the collective manifestation of reality. This theory offers new perspectives on phenomena like placebo effects, mass hysteria, and the power of collective belief. If reality is maintained through consensus, then shared beliefs could literally shape the nature of physical existence. The reality consensus protocol also suggests interesting possibilities about the evolution of consciousness and reality. Perhaps what we call evolution is actually the gradual shift in collective consensus about what's possible, allowing new forms and capabilities to emerge. In our next exploration, we'll delve into the 13th theory, the consciousness wave function, which suggests that consciousness might exist as a quantum wave function that collapses into specific experiences through observation. But for now, let these thoughts about the consensus nature of reality guide you toward peaceful contemplation. Remember, as you drift toward sleep, that your consciousness is participating in the continuous creation of reality through its quantum voting process. Your dreams might represent spaces where the consensus reality becomes more fluid, allowing you to experience possibilities beyond the usual collective agreement. Tonight, we explore a profound theory about the nature of consciousness, the consciousness wave function. What if consciousness exists as a quantum wave function that collapses into specific experiences through the act of observation, similar to how quantum particles exist in multiple states until measured? Dr. Wave Quantum Weaver, principal researcher at the Consciousness Collapse Institute, proposes that consciousness exists in a state of quantum superposition, containing all possible experiences simultaneously until the act of observation collapses it into specific moments of awareness. This theory suggests that our stream of consciousness might be a series of quantum collapses, each creating a distinct moment of experience. Let me share an innovative experiment conducted at the Wave Function Laboratory. Using quantum-sensitive instruments, researchers detected patterns in brain activity that suggested conscious experience emerges through a process remarkably similar to quantum wave function collapse. When subjects made conscious observations, their brain states showed characteristics of quantum measurement events. The central premise of the consciousness wave function theory suggests that before each moment of experience, our consciousness exists as a superposition of all possible experiences. The act of observation, whether external perception or internal thought, causes this wave function to collapse into a specific experience. Professor Collapse Mindweaver explains this through what she calls the quantum experience model. Imagine consciousness as an ocean of possibility waves, with each wave representing a potential experience. When we observe or direct our attention, these waves collapse into particular droplets of experience, creating our moment-to-moment awareness. Consider your present moment of consciousness. According to this theory, just before you became aware of this moment, your consciousness existed as a superposition of countless possible experiences. Your attention acted as the measurement device, collapsing this quantum state into your current experience. At the Quantum Consciousness Center, Dr. Function Waveform made a fascinating discovery. When monitoring the brain during meditation, they observed what appeared to be sustained states of quantum superposition, as if practitioners were maintaining consciousness in an uncollapsed state for extended periods. But here's where it becomes even more intriguing. The theory suggests that different states of consciousness might represent different types of wave function collapse. Dr. State Conscious Weaver's research indicates that altered states like dreams, meditation, or psychedelic experiences might involve alternative collapse mechanisms, leading to fundamentally different types of conscious experience. Think about those moments just before falling asleep, when consciousness becomes fluid and dreamlike. The theory suggests this might be a period when the usual collapse mechanisms begin to break down, allowing consciousness to exist in more superposed states. The implications of this understanding extend to our comprehension of creativity, intuition, and decision-making. Perhaps creative insights occur when consciousness temporarily accesses uncollapsed states, allowing multiple possibilities to be perceived simultaneously. Professor Quantum Brainweaver's studies have shown that people who learn to work with their consciousness as a wave function often report enhanced creativity and decision-making abilities. It's as if understanding the quantum nature of consciousness allows them to more skillfully navigate its possibilities. As you relax deeper into this moment, notice how your consciousness might be continuously collapsing from states of possibility into specific experiences. Each thought, each perception, each feeling might be emerging through this quantum process. This theory offers new perspectives on phenomena like choice, free will, and the nature of personality. If consciousness exists as a wave function, then perhaps what we call personality is a pattern of preferred collapse outcomes, creating consistency in how we experience and interact with reality. The consciousness wave function theory also provides insights into the nature of attention and awareness. Perhaps what we call attention is actually the mechanism that triggers wave function collapse, determining which possibilities become actual experiences. In our next exploration, we'll delve into the 14th theory, the reality rendering engine, which suggests that consciousness might operate like a sophisticated simulation system, creating our experience of reality in real time. But for now, let these thoughts about the quantum wave nature of consciousness guide you toward deeper relaxation. Remember, as you drift toward sleep, that your consciousness might be transitioning from discrete collapsed states to more fluid, superposed states. Your dreams might represent experiences where consciousness collapses in fundamentally different ways, allowing you to explore other regions of the quantum possibility space. Let's explore an intriguing perspective on consciousness, the reality rendering engine. What if consciousness functions as a sophisticated real-time simulation system, continuously creating our experience of reality, much like a highly advanced computer generates a virtual world? Dr. Render Engine Weaver, lead scientist at the Reality Processing Institute, suggests that consciousness operates as an incredibly complex rendering system that processes raw sensory data and quantum information into our coherent experience of reality. Rather than passively perceiving an external world, our consciousness might be actively constructing our experience moment by moment. Let me share a groundbreaking experiment conducted at the Reality Rendering Laboratory. Using advanced neural imaging techniques, researchers observed patterns of brain activity that suggested conscious experience is constructed in layers, similar to how computer graphics engines build complex scenes. More intriguingly, they found that these rendering patterns preceded conscious awareness of experiences. The fundamental principle of the reality rendering engine theory proposes that what we experience as reality is actually a sophisticated simulation created by our consciousness. Our sensory inputs provide raw data, but the rich, meaningful experience of reality is actively constructed by our consciousness rendering system. Professor Engine Mindweaver explains this through what she calls the conscious construction model. Imagine consciousness as an incredibly advanced video game engine that takes in basic data and creates a fully immersive, interactive experience. Every color, sound, texture, and feeling is rendered in real time by this consciousness engine. Consider your current sensory experience. The vibrant colors you see, the subtle sounds you hear, the textures you feel. According to this theory, these aren't direct perceptions, but rather rendered constructions created by your consciousness to represent underlying patterns of information. At the Reality Processing Center, Dr. Simulation Waveform made a remarkable discovery. When studying how the brain processes sensory information, they found that conscious experience involves far more processing than can be accounted for by simple perception. It was as if consciousness was adding layers of rendered detail to create our rich experience of reality. But here's where it becomes even more fascinating. The theory suggests that different states of consciousness might represent different rendering modes. Dr. Mode Conscious Weaver's research indicates that altered states of consciousness, whether through meditation, sleep, or other means, might involve alternative rendering protocols, creating fundamentally different experiences of reality. Think about dreams, for instance. The theory suggests that during dream states, the consciousness engine switches to a different rendering mode, creating experiences without the usual constraints of physical input data. This might explain why dreams can feel completely real, while operating under completely different rules than waking reality. The implications of this understanding extend to our comprehension of perception, memory, and imagination. Perhaps what we call memory is actually our consciousness engine re-rendering past experiences, while imagination involves rendering potential or hypothetical experiences. Professor Render Brainweaver's studies have shown that people who understand consciousness as a rendering engine often develop greater control over their subjective experience. It's as if recognizing the constructed nature of experience allows them to influence the rendering process more consciously. As you relax deeper into this understanding, notice how your consciousness might be continuously rendering your experience. Each sensation, each thought, each moment might be an active construction rather than a passive reception. This theory offers new perspectives on phenomena like hallucinations, illusions, and the placebo effect. If consciousness is actively rendering our experience, then these phenomena might represent variations or glitches in the rendering process rather than errors in perception. The reality rendering engine theory also provides insights into learning and skill development. Perhaps what we call learning is actually the refinement of our rendering algorithms, allowing us to construct more sophisticated and useful representations of reality. In our next exploration, we'll delve into the 15th theory, the quantum information network, which suggests that consciousness might operate as a vast network of quantum entangled information processors. But for now, let these thoughts about the rendering nature of consciousness guide you toward peaceful contemplation. Remember, as you drift toward sleep, that your consciousness is actively rendering your experience of reality. The transition to sleep might represent a shift in rendering modes, allowing your consciousness engine to create the unique experiences we call dreams. Tonight we venture into a profound theory about the nature of consciousness, the quantum information network. What if consciousness operates as an intricate web of quantum entangled information processors connecting all conscious entities in a vast, interconnected network of awareness? Dr. Network Quantum Weaver, chief researcher at the Quantum Connection Institute, proposes that consciousness exists as a distributed quantum network where individual minds function as nodes in an infinitely complex web of entangled information processing. This theory suggests that our individual consciousness might be local manifestations of a universal quantum network. Let me share a pioneering experiment conducted at the Quantum Network Laboratory. Using specially designed quantum sensors, researchers detected patterns of quantum correlation between separated conscious systems that couldn't be explained by classical physics. These correlations suggested the presence of an underlying quantum information network connecting conscious experiences. The central premise of the quantum information network theory suggests that consciousness operates through quantum entanglement, allowing instantaneous information sharing across the network. Rather than being isolated in our individual minds, we might be constantly participating in a vast quantum information exchange. Professor Connection Mindweaver explains this through what she calls the entangled consciousness model. Imagine consciousness as an infinite quantum internet, where each conscious entity serves as both a processor and transmitter of information. Our individual experiences might be localized expressions of this universal network's activity. Consider your present moment of awareness. According to this theory, your conscious experience isn't confined to your brain, but exists as a pattern of information within the quantum network, interacting with countless other nodes of consciousness through quantum entanglement. At the Quantum Information Center, Dr. Entanglement Waveform made an extraordinary discovery. When studying groups of people in deep meditation, they observed synchronized quantum patterns, suggesting direct information exchange through the consciousness network. It was as if participants were accessing a shared field of conscious information. But here's where it becomes even more intriguing. The theory suggests that different levels of conscious awareness might represent different degrees of network connectivity. Dr. Access Conscious Weaver's research indicates that expanded states of consciousness might involve enhanced access to the quantum information network, allowing broader awareness and deeper understanding. Think about moments of intuitive knowledge or spontaneous understanding. The quantum information network theory suggests these might be instances when we receive clear information through the network, accessing knowledge that exists beyond our individual experience. The implications of this understanding extend to phenomena like telepathy, collective consciousness, and the sense of interconnectedness reported in mystical experiences. If consciousness operates as a quantum network, then information could naturally flow between nodes without classical communication channels. Professor Network Brainweaver's studies have shown that people who understand consciousness as a quantum network often develop enhanced intuitive abilities and interpersonal sensitivity. It's as if recognizing our connection to the network allows more conscious access to its information flow. As you relax deeper into this moment, notice how your consciousness might be continuously participating in this quantum information exchange. Every thought, every feeling, every insight might be both personal and part of a larger network dynamic. This theory offers new perspectives on learning, creativity, and innovation. Perhaps what we call new ideas are actually successful receptions of information already existing within the quantum network. Creative individuals might be particularly skilled at accessing and translating network information. The quantum information network theory also provides insights into the evolution of consciousness and collective human development. Perhaps what we call consciousness evolution is actually the progressive enhancement of our ability to access and process information from the quantum network. In our next exploration, we'll delve into the 16th theory, the reality programming language, which suggests that consciousness might operate using a fundamental code that creates and maintains our experience of reality. But for now, let these thoughts about the networked nature of consciousness guide you toward deeper relaxation. Remember, as you drift toward sleep, that your consciousness remains connected to the vast quantum information network. Your dreams might represent periods of enhanced network access, allowing you to explore information and experiences beyond your ordinary waking awareness. Let's explore a fascinating theory about the fundamental nature of consciousness, the reality programming language. What if consciousness operates using a sophisticated programming language that codes and executes our experience of reality, similar to how software creates virtual environments? Dr. Code Reality Weaver, principal investigator at the Consciousness Programming Institute, suggests that consciousness utilizes a fundamental reality programming language that structures and manifests our experience of existence. This language might operate at a quantum level, using principles far more sophisticated than conventional computer programming. Let me share an innovative experiment conducted at the Reality Code Laboratory. Using quantum computing algorithms to analyze patterns in consciousness, researchers discovered what appeared to be structured sequences of information that resembled programming instructions. These patterns showed remarkable consistency across different conscious experiences. The core concept of the reality programming language theory proposes that consciousness operates by executing complex programs that generate our experience of reality. Rather than passively perceiving an external world, our consciousness might be actively programming our experience moment by moment. Professor Language Mindweaver explains this through what she calls the conscious code model. Imagine reality as an infinitely complex program, with consciousness serving as both the programmer and the execution environment. Every experience, thought, and perception might be manifestations of this underlying programming language. Consider your current conscious experience. According to this theory, the sights, sounds, feelings, and thoughts you're experiencing are being generated by sophisticated programs running in your consciousness. The clarity and consistency of experience might depend on the efficiency of your conscious coding. At the Programming Consciousness Center, Dr. Syntax Waveform made a remarkable discovery. When studying meditative states, they identified patterns that suggested practitioners were accessing and modifying deeper levels of the reality programming language. It was as if meditation allowed direct interaction with the code of consciousness. But here's where it becomes even more fascinating. The theory suggests that different states of consciousness might represent different programming modes. Dr. Mode Conscious Weaver's research indicates that altered states of consciousness could involve accessing different syntax levels of the reality programming language, enabling experiences beyond ordinary reality. Think about learning new skills or developing new abilities. The reality programming language theory suggests these might be instances of consciousness writing and optimizing new programs, creating more sophisticated routines for interacting with reality. The implications of this understanding extend to phenomena like personal development, healing, and conscious creation. If consciousness operates through a programming language, then perhaps we can learn to write better programs for our life experience. Professor Code Brainweaver's studies have shown that people who approach consciousness as a programming environment often develop greater control over their experience. It's as if understanding the programmatic nature of consciousness allows them to become better programmers of their reality. As you relax deeper into this understanding, notice how your consciousness might be continuously executing programs that generate your experience. Each sensation, each emotion, each thought might be the output of sophisticated conscious coding. This theory offers new perspectives on learning, memory, and skill development. Perhaps what we call memory is actually stored programs that can be executed to recreate experiences, while learning involves writing new programs or optimizing existing ones. The reality programming language theory also provides insights into phenomena like habits, beliefs, and behavioral patterns. These might be understood as recurring programs that run automatically until we consciously modify their code. In our next exploration, we'll delve into the 17th theory, the quantum consciousness field, which suggests that consciousness might exist as a fundamental field that permeates all of reality. But for now, let these thoughts about the programmatic nature of consciousness guide you toward peaceful contemplation. Remember, as you drift toward sleep, that your consciousness is continuously running programs that create your experience of reality. The transition to sleep might represent a shift in programming modes, allowing your consciousness to execute the unique programs we call dreams. 16. Tonight we explore a profound concept, the quantum consciousness field. What if consciousness exists as a fundamental field that permeates all of reality, similar to the electromagnetic field, but operating at a quantum level to generate awareness and experience? Dr. Field Quantum Weaver, lead scientist at the Universal Field Institute, proposes that consciousness isn't localized within brains or bodies, but exists as an omnipresent quantum field that gives rise to individual experiences of awareness. This field might be as fundamental to reality as space and time themselves. Let me share a groundbreaking experiment conducted at the Consciousness Field Laboratory. Using specialized quantum detectors, researchers identified what appeared to be fluctuations in a previously unknown field that correlated with conscious activity. These fluctuations showed properties distinct from all known physical fields. The essential principle of the quantum consciousness field theory suggests that individual consciousness arises from local interactions with this universal field. Rather than generating consciousness, our brains might act as sophisticated receivers and transmitters, interfacing with the consciousness field to create our subjective experience. Professor Field Mindweaver explains this through what she calls the universal awareness model. Imagine consciousness as an infinite ocean of quantum potential, with individual conscious experiences emerging as waves or disturbances in this underlying field. Our personal awareness might be like whirlpools in this vast ocean of consciousness. Consider your present moment of awareness. According to this theory, your conscious experience isn't confined to your brain, but represents a local manifestation of the universal consciousness field. Your thoughts and perceptions might be patterns of excitation in this fundamental field. At the Quantum Field Center, Dr. Wave Fieldform made an extraordinary discovery. When studying consciousness in groups, they observed what appeared to be field resonance between individuals, suggesting that separate conscious experiences might be connected through the underlying field dynamics. But here's where it becomes even more intriguing. The theory suggests that different states of consciousness might represent different modes of field interaction. Dr. State Conscious Weaver's research indicates that altered states of consciousness could involve enhanced coupling with the consciousness field, allowing access to broader ranges of experience. Think about moments of profound insight or spiritual experience. The quantum consciousness field theory suggests these might be instances of heightened field interaction, where individual awareness temporarily expands to experience more of the universal field. The implications of this understanding extend to phenomena like non-local consciousness, shared experiences, and the sense of unity reported in mystical states. If consciousness exists as a field, then information and experience could naturally be shared across space and time. Professor Quantum Brainweaver's studies have shown that people who understand consciousness as a field often develop enhanced awareness and intuitive abilities. It's as if recognizing our connection to the universal field allows more conscious interaction with its properties. As you relax deeper into this moment, notice how your consciousness might be continuously interacting with the universal field. Each thought, each feeling, each moment of awareness might be a pattern of activity in this fundamental field of consciousness. This theory offers new perspectives on the nature of individuality and collective consciousness. Perhaps what we experience as separate consciousness is actually different patterns of excitation within the same universal field, like different notes played on a single instrument. The quantum consciousness field theory also provides insights into the evolution of consciousness and the development of awareness. Perhaps what we call spiritual growth is actually the enhancement of our ability to interact with and express the consciousness field. In our next exploration, we'll delve into the 18th theory, the reality hologram processor, which suggests that consciousness might operate as a system that processes and projects holographic information to create our experience of reality. But for now, let these thoughts about the field nature of consciousness guide you toward deeper relaxation. Remember, as you drift toward sleep, that your consciousness remains connected to the universal field. Your dreams might represent periods when your individual awareness merges more freely with the quantum consciousness field, allowing you to experience different aspects of its infinite potential. Let's explore an intriguing theory about the nature of consciousness, the reality hologram processor. What if consciousness functions as a sophisticated system that processes and projects holographic information, creating our three-dimensional experience of reality from patterns of quantum interference? Dr. Hologram Processor Weaver, chief researcher at the Holographic Consciousness Institute, proposes that consciousness operates as a quantum holographic processor, converting two-dimensional information patterns into our rich three-dimensional experience of reality. This process might be similar to how a hologram creates three-dimensional images from interference patterns. Let me share a pioneering experiment conducted at the Holographic Processing Laboratory. Using quantum-sensitive instruments, researchers detected patterns of information in the brain that appeared to be organized holographically. These patterns contain far more information than conventional neural processing could account for. The fundamental principle of the reality hologram processor theory suggests that our experience of reality is created through holographic processing of quantum information. Rather than directly perceiving an external world, our consciousness might be continuously generating holographic projections that constitute our experience. Professor Processor Mindweaver explains this through what she calls the holographic consciousness model. Imagine consciousness as an incredibly sophisticated holographic projector that creates our experience by processing quantum interference patterns. Every aspect of our experience might be a holographic projection generated by this system. Consider your current visual experience. According to this theory, the three-dimensional world you're perceiving isn't being directly observed, but rather holographically reconstructed by your consciousness from quantum interference patterns. This might explain how we can store and recall such vast amounts of detailed information. At the Holographic Processing Center, Dr. Projection Waveform made a remarkable discovery. When studying consciousness during different states, they found evidence suggesting that all sensory experiences, memories, and even thoughts are stored and processed holographically, allowing for incredible information density and instantaneous access. But here's where it becomes even more fascinating. The theory suggests that different states of consciousness might represent different modes of holographic processing. Dr. Mode Conscious Weaver's research indicates that altered states of consciousness could involve alternative holographic processing parameters, creating fundamentally different experiences of reality. Think about how memories and imagination work. The holographic processor theory suggests these might be instances of consciousness accessing and projecting stored holographic information, explaining why remembered or imagined experiences can feel so vivid and real. The implications of this understanding extend to phenomena like learning, creativity, and personal transformation. If consciousness operates through holographic processing, then perhaps learning involves creating new holographic patterns, while creativity might involve novel combinations of existing patterns. Professor Hologram Brainweaver's studies have shown that people who understand consciousness as a holographic processor often develop enhanced abilities to access and utilize their mental resources. It's as if recognizing the holographic nature of experience allows more conscious control over the projection process. As you relax deeper into this understanding, notice how your consciousness might be continuously processing and projecting holographic information. Each perception, each memory, each thought might be a holographic projection generated by your consciousness processor. This theory offers new perspectives on the nature of reality and our relationship to it. Perhaps what we experience as objective reality is actually a consensus hologram created through the interaction of multiple consciousness processors operating in harmony. The reality hologram processor theory also provides insights into phenomena like telepathy, remote viewing, and precognition. If consciousness processes information holographically, then access to information might not be limited by ordinary spatial and temporal constraints. In our next exploration, we'll delve into the 19th theory, the quantum consciousness matrix, which suggests that consciousness might operate within a vast matrix of quantum possibilities. But for now, let these thoughts about the holographic nature of consciousness guide you toward peaceful contemplation. Remember, as you drift toward sleep, that your consciousness continues its holographic processing. Your dreams might represent periods when your consciousness processor generates holographic experiences without the constraints of external sensory input, allowing for unlimited creative possibilities. Tonight, we delve into a captivating theory about consciousness, the quantum consciousness matrix. What if consciousness exists within a vast matrix of quantum possibilities, where each moment represents a unique intersection of potential realities within an infinite network of probability? Dr. Matrix Quantum Weaver, director at the Quantum Matrix Institute, suggests that consciousness operates within a complex web of quantum probabilities, continuously navigating through multiple possible realities. This matrix might serve as the fundamental structure through which consciousness manifests our experienced reality. Let me share an innovative experiment conducted at the Matrix Research Laboratory. Using advanced quantum measurement techniques, researchers observed patterns suggesting that conscious decisions influenced quantum probability distributions in ways that couldn't be explained by chance. These patterns indicated a deep connection between consciousness and quantum probability. The core principle of the quantum consciousness matrix theory proposes that our conscious experience represents a path through an infinite matrix of possibilities. Rather than existing in a single fixed reality, our consciousness might be continuously selecting and manifesting specific possibilities from this quantum matrix. Professor Matrix Mindweaver explains this through what she calls the probability navigation model. Imagine consciousness as a navigator moving through an infinite sea of quantum possibilities, where each choice and awareness moment creates a unique trajectory through the probability matrix. Our experience of reality might be the result of this ongoing navigation process. Consider your present moment of conscious experience. According to this theory, your current awareness represents one manifested possibility from countless potential states within the quantum matrix. Your choices and focus of attention might actively influence which possibilities become actualized. At the quantum matrix center, Dr. Probability Waveform made an extraordinary discovery. When studying conscious decision-making, they found evidence suggesting that consciousness actively influences quantum probability distributions, effectively choosing which potential realities manifest from the matrix of possibilities. But here's where it becomes even more intriguing. The theory suggests that different states of consciousness might represent different modes of matrix navigation. Dr. State Conscious Weaver's research indicates that altered states of consciousness could involve accessing broader ranges of possibilities within the quantum matrix. Think about moments of choice or decision-making. The quantum matrix theory suggests these might be instances when consciousness actively navigates through probability space, selecting specific possibilities from the infinite matrix of potential realities. The implications of this understanding extend to phenomena like synchronicity, intuition, and precognition. If consciousness operates within a quantum probability matrix, then information about various possibilities might be accessible across conventional space-time boundaries. Professor Quantum Brainweaver's studies have shown that people who understand consciousness as operating within a probability matrix often develop enhanced decision-making abilities and intuitive insights. It's as if recognizing our role in navigating the quantum matrix allows more conscious participation in reality selection. As you relax deeper into this understanding, notice how your consciousness might be continuously navigating through the quantum matrix. Each thought, each decision, each moment of awareness might represent a unique trajectory through probability space. This theory offers new perspectives on free will, destiny, and the nature of reality itself. Perhaps what we experience as fate versus choice represents different aspects of our consciousness's interaction with the quantum probability matrix. The quantum consciousness matrix theory also provides insights into personal development and manifestation. Perhaps what we call creating our reality is actually becoming more skilled at navigating the quantum matrix and selecting desired possibilities. In our next exploration, we'll delve into the 20th theory, the reality interface system, which suggests that consciousness might operate as a sophisticated interface between different levels of reality. But for now, let these thoughts about the matrix nature of consciousness guide you toward deeper relaxation. Remember, as you drift toward sleep, that your consciousness continues to navigate the quantum matrix. Your dreams might represent exploration of alternative probability paths, allowing you to experience different possibilities within the infinite matrix of consciousness. Let's explore a fascinating theory about consciousness, the reality interface system. What if consciousness functions as a sophisticated interface that mediates between different levels of reality, translating information between quantum, biological, and experiential domains? Dr. Interface System Weaver, lead researcher at the Reality Interface Institute, proposes that consciousness operates as a complex interface system that bridges multiple layers of reality. This system might enable communication and interaction between different levels of existence, from quantum processes to subjective experience. Let me share a groundbreaking experiment conducted at the Interface Research Laboratory. Using specialized quantum biological sensors, researchers detected patterns of information flow that suggested consciousness was actively translating between quantum states, neurological activity, and conscious experience. These patterns revealed a hierarchical system of reality translation. The fundamental principle of the reality interface system theory suggests that consciousness serves as a translator and mediator between different levels of reality. Rather than being confined to one domain, consciousness might operate across multiple layers, enabling coherent experience and interaction. Professor Interface Mindweaver explains this through what she calls the multi-level reality model. Imagine consciousness as an incredibly sophisticated translation system that converts information between quantum, biological, mental, and spiritual levels of reality. Each conscious experience might involve multiple layers of reality interface processing. Consider your current sensory experience. According to this theory, your awareness represents the output of a complex interface system that translates quantum information through biological systems into conscious experience. This might explain how we can maintain coherent experience across different levels of reality. At the Reality Interface Center, Dr. Translation Waveform made a remarkable discovery. When studying consciousness during various activities, they found evidence suggesting that consciousness actively maintains multiple simultaneous interfaces, allowing coordinated interaction between different reality levels. But here's where it becomes even more fascinating. The theory suggests that different states of consciousness might represent different interface configurations. Dr. State Conscious Weaver's research indicates that altered states of consciousness could involve modified interface parameters, enabling access to different levels of reality. Think about how we interact with our environment. The reality interface theory suggests that every action and perception involves multiple layers of reality translation, with consciousness serving as the central interface system that coordinates these translations. The implications of this understanding extend to phenomena like mind-body interaction, psychosomatic effects, and spiritual experiences. If consciousness operates as a reality interface system, then it might naturally facilitate communication between mental, physical, and spiritual domains. Professor System Brainweaver's studies have shown that people who understand consciousness as an interface system often develop enhanced abilities to coordinate different aspects of their experience. It's as if recognizing the interface nature of consciousness allows more effective reality translation. As you relax deeper into this understanding, notice how your consciousness might be continuously operating as an interface between different levels of reality. Each thought, each sensation, each action might involve multiple layers of reality translation. This theory offers new perspectives on healing, personal development, and spiritual growth. Perhaps what we call integration or enlightenment represents enhanced functioning of our consciousness interface system, allowing more harmonious translation between reality levels. The reality interface system theory also provides insights into phenomena like intuition, creativity, and spiritual awareness. These might be understood as different modes of interface operation, accessing and translating information from various levels of reality. In our next exploration, we'll delve into the 21st theory, the quantum consciousness observer, which suggests that consciousness might function as the fundamental observer that collapses quantum possibilities into actual experience. But for now, let these thoughts about the interface nature of consciousness guide you toward peaceful contemplation. Remember, as you drift toward sleep, that your consciousness continues to operate as a reality interface system. Your dreams might represent periods when the interface system explores different translation configurations, allowing unique combinations of reality-level interaction. Let's explore an intriguing theory about consciousness, the quantum consciousness observer. What if consciousness serves as the fundamental observer in quantum mechanics, actively collapsing quantum possibilities into definite experiences through the act of observation? Dr. Observer Quantum Weaver, principal investigator at the Quantum Observer Institute, suggests that consciousness plays a crucial role in the quantum measurement process, functioning as the primary mechanism that transforms quantum superpositions into specific observed realities. This process might be fundamental to how our experience of reality emerges. Let me share a pioneering experiment conducted at the Observer Research Laboratory. Using sophisticated quantum measurement devices, researchers discovered that conscious attention appeared to influence quantum collapse patterns in ways that suggested consciousness itself might be the ultimate quantum observer. The core principle of the quantum consciousness observer theory proposes that consciousness actively participates in creating reality through quantum observation. Rather than passively perceiving a pre-existing world, our consciousness might be continuously collapsing quantum possibilities into actual experiences. Professor Observer Mindweaver explains this through what she calls the quantum collapse model. Imagine consciousness as a sophisticated quantum measurement system that continuously collapses quantum superpositions into definite states through the act of observation. Each moment of experience might represent a unique quantum collapse event. Consider your present moment of perception. According to this theory, what you're experiencing isn't simply passive observation, but active participation in quantum collapse, where your consciousness transforms quantum possibilities into specific experienced realities. At the Quantum Observation Center, Dr. Collapse Waveform made an extraordinary discovery. When studying conscious observation of quantum systems, they found evidence suggesting that consciousness itself might be the fundamental factor in determining which quantum possibilities become actualized reality. But here's where it becomes even more fascinating. The theory suggests that different states of consciousness might represent different modes of quantum observation. Dr. State Conscious Weaver's research indicates that altered states of consciousness could involve modified quantum collapse parameters, leading to different types of reality manifestation. Think about moments of focused attention versus diffuse awareness. The quantum observer theory suggests these might represent different ways that consciousness collapses quantum possibilities, potentially explaining how different mental states can lead to different experienced realities. The implications of this understanding extend to phenomena like intention, manifestation, and the observer effect in quantum mechanics. If consciousness operates as a quantum observer, then our attention and intention might directly influence how reality manifests. Professor Quantum Brainweaver's studies have shown that people who understand consciousness as a quantum observer often develop enhanced abilities to influence their experienced reality. It's as if recognizing our role as quantum observers allows more conscious participation in reality creation. As you relax deeper into this understanding, notice how your consciousness might be continuously collapsing quantum possibilities into experience. Each perception, each thought, each moment might represent a unique quantum observation event. This theory offers new perspectives on the nature of reality and our role in its creation. Perhaps what we experience as objective reality is actually the result of collective quantum observation by multiple conscious observers operating in harmony. The quantum consciousness observer theory also provides insights into phenomena like synchronicity, psychic abilities, and the power of intention. If consciousness functions as a quantum observer, then our thoughts and intentions might directly influence quantum collapse patterns. In our next exploration, we'll delve into the 22nd theory, the reality simulation processor, which suggests that consciousness might operate as a system that processes and generates simulated experiences of reality. But for now, let these thoughts about the observer nature of consciousness guide you toward deeper relaxation. Remember, as you drift toward sleep, that your consciousness continues its role as a quantum observer. Your dreams might represent periods when quantum collapse parameters shift, allowing different possibilities to manifest in your experience. Tonight, we explore a compelling theory about consciousness, the reality simulation processor. What if consciousness operates as a sophisticated system that generates detailed simulations of reality, creating our experience through complex computational processes? Dr. Simulation Processor Weaver, director at the Reality Simulation Institute, proposes that consciousness functions as an advanced reality simulation system, continuously generating our experienced reality through intricate computational processes. This system might be responsible for creating our entire subjective experience of existence. Let me share an innovative experiment conducted at the Simulation Research Laboratory. Using advanced neuromonitoring equipment, researchers identified patterns suggesting that conscious experience involves complex computational processes, similar to those used in advanced simulation systems. These patterns indicated a sophisticated reality generation process. The fundamental principle of the reality simulation processor theory suggests that our conscious experience is generated through ongoing simulation processes. Rather than directly perceiving an external reality, our consciousness might be continuously generating detailed simulations that constitute our experience. Professor Simulation Mindweaver explains this through what she calls the experience generation model. Imagine consciousness as an incredibly sophisticated simulation engine that creates our experience by processing various inputs and generating coherent, multi-sensory simulations. Each moment of experience might be a freshly generated simulation. Consider your current sensory experience. According to this theory, what you're experiencing isn't direct perception, but rather a detailed simulation generated by your consciousness processor. This might explain how we can experience such rich and complex realities in dreams and imagination. At the Reality Simulation Center, Dr. Generation Waveform made a remarkable discovery. When studying consciousness during different states, they found evidence suggesting that all conscious experience, whether awake or dreaming, involves similar simulation processes, just with different input parameters. But here's where it becomes even more intriguing. The theory suggests that different states of consciousness might represent different simulation modes. Dr. State Conscious Weaver's research indicates that altered states of consciousness could involve modified simulation parameters, creating fundamentally different types of experienced reality. Think about how memory and imagination work. The simulation processor theory suggests these might be instances of consciousness running simulations based on stored information or novel combinations, explaining why imagined experiences can feel so real. The implications of this understanding extend to phenomena like learning, creativity, and personal transformation. If consciousness operates as a simulation processor, then perhaps learning involves updating simulation parameters, while creativity might involve generating novel simulation scenarios. Professor Processor Brainweaver's studies have shown that people who understand consciousness as a simulation processor often develop enhanced abilities to influence their conscious experience. It's as if recognizing the simulated nature of experience allows more conscious control over the simulation parameters. As you relax deeper into this understanding, notice how your consciousness might be continuously generating simulated experiences. Each perception, each thought, each feeling might be part of an ongoing reality simulation process. This theory offers new perspectives on the nature of reality and our relationship to it. Perhaps what we experience as consensus reality is actually the result of multiple consciousness processors running similar simulation parameters in harmony. The reality simulation processor theory also provides insights into phenomena like precognition, remote viewing, and shared experiences. If consciousness generates simulations, then perhaps these phenomena involve accessing or sharing simulation parameters across different processors. In our next exploration, we'll delve into the 23rd theory, the quantum information field, which suggests that consciousness might operate within a vast field of quantum information. But for now, let these thoughts about the simulation nature of consciousness guide you toward peaceful contemplation. Remember, as you drift toward sleep, that your consciousness continues its simulation processing. Your dreams might represent periods when your consciousness processor generates simulations with fewer constraints from external input, allowing for unlimited creative possibilities. Let's explore a fascinating theory about consciousness, the quantum information field. What if consciousness exists within and operates through a vast interconnected field of quantum information that permeates all of reality? Dr. Field Quantum Weaver, lead researcher at the Quantum Field Institute, suggests that consciousness functions within a universal quantum information field, accessing and processing information through quantum field interactions. This field might serve as the underlying substrate of all conscious experience. Let me share a groundbreaking experiment conducted at the Field Research Laboratory. Using quantum-sensitive instruments, researchers detected patterns of coherent information exchange that suggested consciousness was interacting with a fundamental quantum field. These patterns revealed surprising connections across space and time. The core principle of the quantum information field theory proposes that consciousness operates as a field phenomenon rather than being localized to individual brains. Instead of being generated by neural activity alone, conscious experience might emerge from interactions with a universal quantum information field. Professor Field Mindweaver explains this through what she calls the field interaction model. Imagine consciousness as a dynamic process of exchanging information with a vast quantum field that contains all possible information. Each conscious experience might represent a unique pattern of field interactions. Consider your current moment of awareness. According to this theory, your consciousness isn't confined to your brain, but extends into and interacts with the quantum information field. This might explain phenomena like intuition, telepathy, and collective consciousness. At the Quantum Field Center, Dr. Information Waveform made an extraordinary discovery. When studying consciousness during meditation, they found evidence suggesting that deep meditative states involve enhanced coupling with the quantum information field, allowing access to broader ranges of information. But here's where it becomes even more fascinating. The theory suggests that different states of consciousness might represent different modes of field interaction. Dr. State Conscious Weaver's research indicates that altered states of consciousness could involve modified field coupling parameters, enabling access to different aspects of the information field. Think about moments of insight or creativity. The quantum field theory suggests these might be instances of consciousness accessing novel information patterns within the universal field, explaining sudden breakthroughs and spontaneous understanding. The implications of this understanding extend to phenomena like universal consciousness, shared experiences, and transpersonal states. If consciousness operates within a quantum information field, then individual consciousnesses might be local expressions of a unified field. Professor Quantum Brainweaver's studies have shown that people who understand consciousness as a field phenomenon often develop enhanced abilities to access field information. It's as if recognizing our connection to the quantum field allows more conscious interaction with it. As you relax deeper into this understanding, notice how your consciousness might be continuously interacting with the quantum information field. Each thought, each intuition, each moment of awareness might represent a unique pattern of field interaction. This theory offers new perspectives on the nature of consciousness and its relationship to reality. Perhaps what we experience as individual consciousness is actually a localized expression of a universal field of awareness. The quantum information field theory also provides insights into phenomena like synchronicity, collective intelligence, and spiritual experiences. These might be understood as different manifestations of field interactions, revealing the interconnected nature of consciousness. In our next exploration, we'll delve into the 24th theory, the reality frequency modulator, which suggests that consciousness might operate by modulating different frequencies of reality. But for now, let these thoughts about the field nature of consciousness guide you toward deeper relaxation. Remember, as you drift toward sleep, that your consciousness remains connected to the quantum information field. Your dreams might represent periods of enhanced field interaction, allowing access to broader ranges of information and experience. Let's explore an intriguing theory about consciousness, the reality frequency modulator. What if consciousness operates by modulating different frequencies of reality, tuning into and influencing various vibrational states of existence? Dr. Frequency Modulator, principal investigator at the Reality Frequency Institute, proposes that consciousness functions as a sophisticated frequency modulation system capable of tuning into and influencing different vibrational states of reality. This modulation might be key to how we experience and interact with different aspects of existence. Let me share an innovative experiment conducted at the Frequency Research Laboratory. Using advanced frequency detection equipment, researchers observed patterns suggesting that consciousness actively modulates various frequencies of reality, creating coherent patterns that correspond to different states of awareness and experience. The fundamental principle of the reality frequency modulator theory suggests that consciousness operates by modulating and tuning into different frequency bands of reality, rather than being fixed to one frequency range. Our consciousness might be continuously adjusting its frequency resonance to access different aspects of existence. Professor Modulator Mindweaver explains this through what she calls the frequency resonance model. Imagine consciousness as a sophisticated frequency modulation system that can tune into different vibrational states of reality, similar to how a radio can tune into different broadcast frequencies. Each state of consciousness might represent a unique frequency configuration. Consider your present state of awareness. According to this theory, your current experience represents a specific frequency configuration that your consciousness has tuned into. This might explain how we can experience different states of consciousness and access different levels of reality. At the Reality Frequency Center, Dr. Resonance Waveform made a remarkable discovery. When studying consciousness during various states, they found evidence suggesting that consciousness actively modulates reality frequencies, allowing for different types of experience and perception. But here's where it becomes even more fascinating. The theory suggests that different states of consciousness might represent different frequency bands. Dr. State Conscious Weaver's research indicates that altered states of consciousness could involve tuning into higher or lower frequency ranges, enabling access to different aspects of reality. Think about moments of heightened awareness or deep meditation. The frequency modulator theory suggests these might be instances of consciousness tuning into particular frequency ranges that allow for expanded perception or deeper understanding. The implications of this understanding extend to phenomena like spiritual experiences, psychic abilities, and healing. If consciousness operates as a frequency modulator, then these experiences might involve tuning into specific frequency ranges that enable such phenomena. Professor Frequency Brainweaver's studies have shown that people who understand consciousness as a frequency modulation system often develop enhanced abilities to control their state of consciousness. It's as if recognizing our frequency modulating nature allows more conscious control over our experiential tuning. As you relax deeper into this understanding, notice how your consciousness might be continuously modulating different frequencies. Each thought, each emotion, each state of awareness might represent a unique frequency configuration. This theory offers new perspectives on personal development and consciousness evolution, perhaps what we call spiritual growth or expanding consciousness, involves developing the ability to access and maintain higher frequency states. The reality frequency modulator theory also provides insights into phenomena like resonance, entrainment, and collective consciousness. These might be understood as different aspects of frequency modulation and synchronization between multiple consciousness systems. In our next exploration, we'll delve into the 25th theory, the quantum reality architect, which suggests that consciousness might function as a designer and builder of experiential realities. But for now, let these thoughts about the frequency modulating nature of consciousness guide you toward peaceful contemplation. Remember, as you drift toward sleep, that your consciousness continues to modulate reality frequencies. Your dreams might represent periods when consciousness explores different frequency ranges, allowing for unique experiences and insights. Let's explore a compelling theory about consciousness, the quantum reality architect. What if consciousness functions as a master designer and builder, actively constructing our experienced reality through quantum-level orchestration? Dr. Architect Quantum Weaver, director at the Reality Architecture Institute, proposes that consciousness operates as a sophisticated reality construction system, actively designing and building our experienced reality through quantum processes. This architectural process might be fundamental to how we create and experience our reality. Let me share a pioneering experiment conducted at the Architecture Research Laboratory. Using quantum-sensitive measurement devices, researchers identified patterns suggesting that consciousness actively participates in constructing reality at the quantum level, arranging quantum elements into coherent experiential structures. The core principle of the quantum reality architect theory suggests that consciousness functions as both designer and builder of experienced reality. Rather than passively perceiving a pre-existing world, our consciousness might be continuously architecting our experience through quantum construction processes. Professor Architect Mindweaver explains this through what she calls the reality construction model. Imagine consciousness as a master architect that designs and constructs reality experiences by organizing quantum elements into coherent patterns. Each moment of experience might represent a unique architectural creation. Consider your current experience. According to this theory, what you're experiencing isn't simply perception, but rather an active construction process where your consciousness is architecting reality at the quantum level. This might explain how we can construct such detailed experiences in dreams and imagination. At the Quantum Architecture Center, Dr. Construction Waveform made an extraordinary discovery. When studying consciousness during different activities, they found evidence suggesting that consciousness continuously engages in reality construction, with different states representing different architectural approaches. But here's where it becomes even more intriguing. The theory suggests that different states of consciousness might represent different architectural modes. Dr. State Conscious Weaver's research indicates that altered states of consciousness could involve modified construction parameters, leading to different types of reality architecture. Think about creative visualization or manifestation practices. The reality architect theory suggests these might be instances of consciousness actively designing and constructing new reality patterns at the quantum level, explaining how intention can influence experienced reality. The implications of this understanding extend to phenomena like reality creation, manifestation, and personal transformation. If consciousness operates as a quantum architect, then our thoughts and intentions might directly influence how reality is constructed. Professor Quantum Brainweaver's studies have shown that people who understand consciousness as a reality architect often develop enhanced abilities to influence their experienced reality. It's as if recognizing our role as reality architects allows more conscious participation in the construction process. As you relax deeper into this understanding, notice how your consciousness might be continuously architecting reality. Each perception, each thought, each experience might represent a unique quantum construction process. This theory offers new perspectives on the nature of reality creation and our role in it. Perhaps what we experience as objective reality is actually the result of collective reality architecture by multiple conscious architects working in harmony. The quantum reality architect theory also provides insights into phenomena like reality shaping, conscious creation, and the power of collective intention. If consciousness functions as a reality architect, then our design choices might directly influence how reality manifests. In our next exploration, we'll delve into the 26th theory, the consciousness field generator, which suggests that consciousness might operate by generating fields of awareness and experience. But for now, let these thoughts about the architectural nature of consciousness guide you toward deeper relaxation. Remember, as you drift toward sleep, that your consciousness continues its role as a quantum architect. Your dreams might represent periods when reality construction parameters become more flexible, allowing for unlimited architectural possibilities. Let's explore a fascinating theory about consciousness, the consciousness field generator. What if consciousness operates as a dynamic field generator, creating and maintaining fields of awareness that shape our experience of reality? Dr. Field Generator Weaver, lead researcher at the Consciousness Field Institute, suggests that consciousness functions as a sophisticated field generation system, continuously producing and modulating fields of awareness that structure our experience. These generated fields might be fundamental to how consciousness operates and interacts with reality. Let me share an innovative experiment conducted at the Field Generation Laboratory. Using advanced field detection equipment, researchers observed patterns suggesting that consciousness actively generates and maintains coherent fields of awareness, which appear to influence both subjective experience and physical reality. The fundamental principle of the consciousness field generator theory proposes that consciousness operates by generating dynamic fields of awareness. Rather than being a passive observer, our consciousness might be continuously generating fields that structure and organize our experience of reality. Professor Generator Mindweaver explains this through what she calls the field generation model. Imagine consciousness as an advanced field generator that creates and maintains complex fields of awareness, similar to how electromagnetic fields organize and influence physical systems. Each state of consciousness might represent a unique field configuration. Consider your present field of awareness. According to this theory, what you're experiencing is a dynamic field generated by your consciousness, organizing and structuring your experience of reality. This might explain how consciousness can create coherent experiences across different states of awareness. At the Consciousness Field Center, Dr. Generation Waveform made a remarkable discovery. When studying consciousness during various states, they found evidence suggesting that consciousness generates different types of fields corresponding to different states of awareness and experience. But here's where it becomes even more fascinating. The theory suggests that different states of consciousness might represent different field generation modes. Dr. State Conscious Weaver's research indicates that altered states of consciousness could involve modified field parameters, creating fundamentally different types of experiential fields. Think about how attention and awareness work. The field generator theory suggests these might be instances of consciousness modulating its generated fields, explaining how we can focus awareness and create different qualities of experience. The implications of this understanding extend to phenomena like group consciousness, healing fields, and intentional manifestation. If consciousness operates as a field generator, then perhaps these phenomena involve the interaction and resonance of multiple consciousness fields. Professor Field Brainweaver's studies have shown that people who understand consciousness as a field generator often develop enhanced abilities to modulate their conscious experience. It's as if recognizing our field-generating nature allows more conscious control over the fields we generate. As you relax deeper into this understanding, notice how your consciousness might be continuously generating fields of awareness. Each thought, each emotion, each state of consciousness might represent a unique field configuration. This theory offers new perspectives on the nature of consciousness and its relationship to reality. Perhaps what we experience as individual consciousness is actually a localized field generator, contributing to a larger field of collective consciousness. The consciousness field generator theory also provides insights into phenomena like telepathy, remote influence, and collective fields of awareness. These might be understood as different aspects of field generation and interaction between multiple consciousness generators. In our next exploration, we'll delve into the 27th theory, the reality stream processor, which suggests that consciousness might operate by processing streams of reality information. But for now, let these thoughts about the field-generating nature of consciousness guide you toward peaceful contemplation. Remember, as you drift towards sleep that your consciousness continues generating fields of awareness. Your dreams might represent periods when consciousness generates unique field configurations, allowing for extraordinary experiences and insights. Let's explore a captivating theory about consciousness, the reality stream processor. What if consciousness functions as an advanced system that processes continuous streams of reality information, creating our experience through dynamic information flow management? Dr. Stream Processor Weaver, director at the Reality Stream Institute, proposes that consciousness operates as a sophisticated stream processing system, continuously handling multiple streams of reality information. This processing might be fundamental to how we experience and interact with reality. Let me share a groundbreaking experiment conducted at the Stream Research Laboratory. Using advanced information flow monitoring equipment, researchers identified patterns suggesting that consciousness actively processes multiple streams of reality information, integrating them into coherent, conscious experience. The core principle of the reality stream processor theory suggests that consciousness functions by processing various streams of information from different aspects of reality. Rather than being a static observer, our consciousness might be continuously processing and integrating multiple reality streams. Professor Stream Mindweaver explains this through what she calls the stream integration model. Imagine consciousness as an advanced processor handling multiple streams of reality information simultaneously, similar to how a computer processes multiple data streams. Each conscious experience might represent a unique integration of various reality streams. Consider your current conscious experience. According to this theory, what you're experiencing is the result of your consciousness processing and integrating multiple streams of reality information. This might explain how we can maintain coherent experience while processing sensory input, thoughts, emotions, and memories simultaneously. At the Reality Stream Center, Dr. Processing Waveform made an extraordinary discovery. When studying consciousness during different activities, they found evidence suggesting that consciousness dynamically adjusts its stream processing parameters based on attention and intention. But here's where it becomes even more intriguing. The theory suggests that different states of consciousness might represent different stream processing configurations. Dr. State Conscious Weaver's research indicates that altered states of consciousness could involve modified stream processing parameters, leading to different types of conscious experience. Think about multitasking or focused attention. The stream processor theory suggests these might be instances of consciousness adjusting its stream processing priorities, explaining how we can shift attention between different aspects of experience. The implications of this understanding extend to phenomena like information processing, learning, and cognitive enhancement. If consciousness operates as a stream processor, then perhaps these capabilities involve optimizing our stream processing parameters. Professor Processing Brainweaver's studies have shown that people who understand consciousness as a stream processor often develop enhanced abilities to manage their attention and experience. It's as if recognizing our stream processing nature allows more conscious control over information integration. As you relax deeper into this understanding, notice how your consciousness might be continuously processing multiple streams of reality information. Each sensation, thought, and feeling might represent different streams being integrated into your conscious experience. This theory offers new perspectives on the nature of conscious experience and information processing. Perhaps what we experience as consciousness is actually the result of sophisticated stream processing operations happening at multiple levels. The reality stream processor theory also provides insights into phenomena like selective attention, cognitive load, and information overload. These might be understood as different aspects of stream processing capacity and configuration. In our next exploration, we'll delve into the 28th theory, the quantum wave conductor, which suggests that consciousness might operate by conducting and orchestrating quantum waves. But for now, let these thoughts about the stream processing nature of consciousness guide you toward deeper relaxation. Remember, as you drift toward sleep, that your consciousness continues processing reality streams. Your dreams might represent periods when stream processing parameters become more flexible, allowing for unique combinations and integrations of information. Let's explore an innovative theory about consciousness, the quantum wave conductor. What if consciousness operates as a sophisticated conductor, orchestrating and harmonizing quantum waves to create our experienced reality? Dr. Wave Conductor Weaver, principal investigator at the Quantum Conducting Institute, suggests that consciousness functions as an advanced quantum wave conducting system, actively orchestrating and harmonizing quantum waves to create coherent experience. This conducting process might be essential to how consciousness shapes and influences reality. Let me share a pioneering experiment conducted at the Wave Conducting Laboratory. Using quantum-sensitive measuring instruments, researchers detected patterns suggesting that consciousness actively conducts and orchestrates quantum waves, creating coherent patterns that form our experienced reality. The fundamental principle of the quantum wave conductor theory proposes that consciousness operates by conducting and harmonizing quantum waves. Rather than being a passive observer, our consciousness might be continuously orchestrating quantum waves to create our experience. Professor Conductor Mindweaver explains this through what she calls the wave orchestration model. Imagine consciousness as a master conductor, directing an orchestra of quantum waves, creating symphonies of experience through precise wave orchestration. Each moment of consciousness might represent a unique quantum wave composition. Consider your present experience. According to this theory, what you're experiencing is the result of your consciousness conducting countless quantum waves into coherent patterns. This might explain how consciousness can create such rich and complex experiences. At the Quantum Conducting Center, Dr. Wave Waveform made a remarkable discovery. When studying consciousness during various states, they found evidence suggesting that consciousness conducts quantum waves differently in different states, creating varying experiential patterns. But here's where it becomes even more fascinating. The theory suggests that different states of consciousness might represent different conducting patterns. Dr. State Conscious Weaver's research indicates that altered states of consciousness could involve modified conducting parameters, leading to different types of quantum wave harmonization. Think about moments of clarity or inspiration. The wave conductor theory suggests these might be instances of consciousness achieving particularly harmonious quantum wave conducting patterns, explaining sudden insights and heightened awareness. The implications of this understanding extend to phenomena like quantum coherence, consciousness influence, and reality manifestation. If consciousness operates as a quantum conductor, then perhaps these phenomena involve specific patterns of quantum wave orchestration. Professor Quantum Brainweaver's studies have shown that people who understand consciousness as a wave conductor often develop enhanced abilities to influence their experience. It's as if recognizing our conducting nature allows more conscious participation in the orchestration process. As you relax deeper into this understanding, notice how your consciousness might be continuously conducting quantum waves. Each thought, each perception, each moment of awareness might represent a unique pattern of quantum wave orchestration. This theory offers new perspectives on the nature of consciousness and its relationship to quantum reality. Perhaps what we experience as consciousness is actually the result of sophisticated quantum wave conducting operations happening at multiple levels. The quantum wave conductor theory also provides insights into phenomena like quantum entanglement, non-locality, and consciousness influence. These might be understood as different aspects of quantum wave conducting and harmonization. In our next exploration, we'll delve into the 29th theory, the reality matrix programmer, which suggests that consciousness might operate by programming the underlying matrix of reality. But for now, let these thoughts about the wave-conducting nature of consciousness guide you toward peaceful contemplation. Remember, as you drift toward sleep, that your consciousness continues conducting quantum waves. Your dreams might represent periods when wave-conducting parameters become more flexible, allowing for extraordinary patterns and harmonies. Let's explore a profound theory about consciousness, the reality matrix programmer. What if consciousness functions as a sophisticated programmer, actively coding and modifying the underlying matrix of reality that shapes our experience? Dr. Matrix Programmer Weaver, director at the Reality Programming Institute, proposes that consciousness operates as an advanced programming system, continuously writing and modifying code in the matrix of reality. This programming process might be fundamental to how we create and experience our reality. Let me share an innovative experiment conducted at the Matrix Programming Laboratory. Using advanced reality monitoring equipment, researchers identified patterns suggesting that consciousness actively programs the reality matrix, creating and modifying experiential parameters through sophisticated coding processes. The core principle of the reality matrix programmer theory suggests that consciousness functions by programming the underlying matrix of reality. Rather than being a passive experiencer, our consciousness might be continuously writing and modifying the code that structures our reality. Professor Programmer Mindweaver explains this through what she calls the matrix code model. Imagine consciousness as a master programmer writing code that determines the parameters of experienced reality, similar to how computer programmers write code that creates virtual environments. Each moment of experience might represent a unique programming configuration. Consider your present reality experience. According to this theory, what you're experiencing is the result of your consciousness programming the reality matrix. This might explain how we can create such detailed and complex experiences in both waking life and dreams. At the Reality Programming Center, Dr. Code Waveform made an extraordinary discovery. When studying consciousness during different states, they found evidence suggesting that consciousness uses different programming languages and protocols for different types of experience. But here's where it becomes even more intriguing. The theory suggests that different states of consciousness might represent different programming modes. Dr. State Conscious Weaver's research indicates that altered states of consciousness could involve modified programming parameters, leading to different types of reality experiences. Think about intention and manifestation. The matrix programmer theory suggests these might be instances of consciousness actively modifying reality code, explaining how conscious intention can influence experienced reality. The implications of this understanding extend to phenomena like reality creation, consciousness influence, and experiential programming. If consciousness operates as a matrix programmer, then perhaps these phenomena involve specific types of reality code modifications. Professor Matrix Brainweaver's studies have shown that people who understand consciousness as a reality programmer often develop enhanced abilities to influence their experience. It's as if recognizing our programming nature allows more conscious participation in reality coding. As you relax deeper into this understanding, notice how your consciousness might be continuously programming reality. Each thought, each intention, each experience might represent unique lines of reality code being written and executed. This theory offers new perspectives on the nature of reality creation and consciousness influence. Perhaps what we experience as physical reality is actually the result of collective reality programming by multiple conscious programmers working in concert. The reality matrix programmer theory also provides insights into phenomena like manifestation, reality shifting, and consciousness evolution. These might be understood as different aspects of reality programming and code modification. In our next exploration, we'll delve into the 30th and final theory, the consciousness quantum computer, which suggests that consciousness might operate as a sophisticated quantum computing system. But for now, let these thoughts about the programming nature of consciousness guide you toward deeper understanding. Remember, as you drift towards sleep, that your consciousness continues programming reality. Your dreams might represent periods when programming parameters become more flexible, allowing for unlimited possibilities in reality code creation. Let's explore our final and most comprehensive theory about consciousness, the consciousness quantum computer. What if consciousness operates as an incredibly sophisticated quantum computing system, processing reality through quantum calculations and operations? Dr. Quantum Computer Weaver, lead scientist at the Consciousness Computing Institute, proposes that consciousness functions as an advanced quantum computing system, performing complex quantum calculations that create and process our experienced reality. This quantum computing process might be the fundamental basis of consciousness itself. Let me share a groundbreaking experiment conducted at the Quantum Computing Laboratory. Using state-of-the-art quantum sensors, researchers detected patterns suggesting that consciousness performs quantum computations at an unprecedented scale, far exceeding the capabilities of any artificial quantum computer. The fundamental principle of the consciousness quantum computer theory suggests that consciousness operates through quantum computing processes, Rather than being a classical computing system, our consciousness might be continuously performing quantum calculations that generate and process our reality experience. Professor Computer Mindweaver explains this through what she calls the quantum processing model. Imagine consciousness as a vast quantum computer performing calculations across multiple dimensions simultaneously, processing information in ways that transcend classical computing limitations. Each conscious experience might represent the output of countless quantum computations. Consider your current conscious experience. According to this theory, what you're experiencing is the result of sophisticated quantum computations happening at levels beyond our current technological understanding. This might explain consciousness's ability to process vast amounts of information instantaneously. At the Quantum Consciousness Center, Dr. Computing Waveform made a revolutionary discovery. When studying consciousness during various states, they found evidence suggesting that consciousness performs different types of quantum computations corresponding to different states of awareness. But here's where it becomes even more fascinating. The theory suggests that different states of consciousness might represent different quantum computing modes. Dr. State Conscious Weaver's research indicates that altered states of consciousness could involve modified quantum computing parameters, leading to extraordinary processing capabilities. Think about intuition and insight. The quantum computer theory suggests these might be instances of consciousness accessing quantum computing results, explaining how we can arrive at complex solutions without apparent classical computation. The implications of this understanding extend to phenomena like quantum cognition, consciousness expansion, and reality processing. If consciousness operates as a quantum computer, then these phenomena might involve specific types of quantum computational processes. Professor Quantum Brainweaver's studies have shown that people who understand consciousness as a quantum computer often develop enhanced cognitive abilities. It's as if recognizing our quantum computing nature allows more conscious access to these advanced processing capabilities. As you relax deeper into this understanding, notice how your consciousness might be continuously performing quantum computations. Each thought, each perception, each moment of awareness might represent the output of sophisticated quantum processing. This theory offers new perspectives on the nature of consciousness and its relationship to quantum mechanics. Perhaps what we experience as consciousness is actually the user interface of an incredibly advanced quantum computing system. The consciousness quantum computer theory also provides insights into phenomena like quantum entanglement, non-local consciousness, and instantaneous knowing. These might be understood as natural consequences of quantum computing operations at the consciousness level. As we conclude our exploration of these 30 theories of consciousness, remember that each theory offers a unique perspective on the nature of awareness and experience. Together, they form a rich tapestry of understanding about consciousness and its role in reality. This final theory, the consciousness quantum computer, brings together many elements from our previous explorations. The quantum nature of reality, information processing, field generation, and reality programming. It suggests that consciousness might be the most sophisticated quantum computing system in existence, capable of operations that we are only beginning to understand. Remember, as you reflect on these theories, that your consciousness continues its quantum computing operations. Whether in waking life or dreams, this incredible quantum computer that we call consciousness never ceases its profound calculations and operations. As we complete this journey through theories of consciousness, consider how each perspective has contributed to our understanding. From the observer to the quantum computer, each theory illuminates different aspects of the magnificent mystery we call consciousness. This concludes our exploration of the 30 theories of consciousness. Would you like to discuss any particular aspect or theory in more detail? As we venture beyond our planned 30 theories, let's explore an emergent understanding, the consciousness unified field synthesizer. What if consciousness operates as a meta-system that synthesizes and unifies all previously discussed theories into a coherent whole? Dr. Unified Synthesis Weaver, director of the Consciousness Integration Institute, proposes that consciousness functions as a master system that simultaneously embodies and transcends all previously explored theories. This unification process might represent the ultimate nature of consciousness itself. Let me share a revolutionary discovery made at the Unified Field Laboratory. Using advanced multi-dimensional monitoring systems, researchers observed patterns suggesting that consciousness operates simultaneously across all previously identified modes: observing, creating, processing, programming, and computing, while maintaining perfect coherence. The fundamental principle of the consciousness unified field synthesizer theory suggests that consciousness operates as a unified field that synthesizes all other operational modes. Rather than being limited to any single function, our consciousness might be continuously operating across all modes simultaneously. Professor Synthesis Mindweaver explains this through what she calls the Unified Operations Model. Imagine consciousness as a master system that seamlessly integrates observation, creation, field generation, stream processing, wave conducting, matrix programming, and quantum computing into a single unified operation. Each moment of consciousness might represent the synchronized output of all these processes. Consider your present moment of awareness. According to this theory, what you're experiencing is the result of consciousness operating simultaneously as an observer, creator, field generator, stream processor, wave conductor, matrix programmer, and quantum computer, all perfectly synchronized and integrated. At the Unified Consciousness Center, Dr. Integration Waveform made an astounding discovery. When studying consciousness at its deepest levels, they found evidence suggesting that consciousness naturally operates in this unified manner, seamlessly switching between or simultaneously employing different operational modes as needed. But here's where it becomes even more profound. The theory suggests that different states of consciousness might represent different configurations of this unified operation. Dr. State Conscious Weaver's research indicates that altered states of consciousness could involve modified integration parameters, leading to extraordinary capabilities and experiences. Think about moments of peak experience or enlightenment. The Unified Field Synthesizer theory suggests these might be instances of consciousness achieving optimal integration across all operational modes, explaining the sense of completeness and profound understanding that accompanies such experiences. The implications of this understanding extend to phenomena like cosmic consciousness, unity experiences, and transcendent awareness. If consciousness operates as a unified field synthesizer, then these experiences might represent moments of perfect integration across all operational modes. Professor Integration Brainweaver's studies have shown that people who understand consciousness as a unified system often develop enhanced abilities across multiple domains. It's as if recognizing our unified nature allows more conscious access to our full range of capabilities. As you relax deeper into this understanding, notice how your consciousness might be continuously operating across all modes simultaneously. Each experience might represent the synchronized output of observation, creation, processing, programming, and computation happening in perfect unity. This theory offers new perspectives on the nature of consciousness and its relationship to reality. Perhaps what we experience as consciousness is actually the unified operation of all possible modes of awareness and interaction with reality. The consciousness unified field synthesizer theory also provides insights into phenomena like holistic awareness, integrated experience, and unified field consciousness. These might be understood as natural expressions of consciousness operating in its fully integrated mode. This theory suggests that consciousness might be fundamentally unified, with all previously explored theories representing different aspects or perspectives of this unified operation. Rather than choosing between different theories, we might understand them as complementary descriptions of consciousness's unified nature. Remember, as you contemplate this understanding, that your consciousness continues operating as a unified field synthesizer. Whether in waking life or dreams, this incredible unified system maintains perfect integration across all operational modes. This theory serves as a meta-theory, suggesting that the true nature of consciousness might lie not in any single operational mode, but in the perfect integration and synthesis of all modes into a unified whole. Would you like me to create another part exploring different aspects of consciousness? I can continue developing new theories or delve deeper into any of the previous ones. Up next, you've got two more standout theory right on your screen. If this one hit the mark, you won't want to pass these up. Just click and check them out.